Yeah, good evening, everyone. And request to mute yourself. Good evening, good morning, and Priyanshu, just mute yourself, please. Yeah. So, good evening, good morning, and late good evening to Grant, who's joining us from Australia. So it's like different time zones for all of us. I believe even Team Botnomics is in Europe. So we've got folks from all continents. So welcome to our Minds Cohort 14 demo day. We'll be having total 10 pitches today. Very excited to see the elevator pitches of 10 startups today joining us from Australia, India, and of course the panelists are also from India, USA. Panelists are angel investors / mentor investors. And this elevator pitch is kind of our selection methodology to select which startups who are part of the base camp are ready for champions, and also which startups are ready for funding. So some of you are invitee startups who are going to pitch today. So we believe you may be ready for funding through a 3-stage VIP process, but this is a validation for us, right? So each of the panelists will be rating you on this 10 parameters. So if you'll see, there are 10 parameters which I'm sharing. So each of the panelists will be rating you on the team, the product solution, the value proposition, your partners LI network, your customer management, your unicorn potential, your moat, the defendability of your solution, scalability of your solution, and of course, commercial viability. What does the profit making potential? And lastly, the product market fit. So we have, if you'll see this, there are all the folks, and we've got a separate rating from Team SARTHY where they are millennials. So Pranay, Priyanshu, Amritam, Sumant, all these are millennials who will be rating you. So at times, some solutions make sense to folks who are below 30, right? So we don't want to get colored by rating you all on a different scale, whether TG may be below 30. So this is the, and so we'll be compiling all these scores of the 10 startups and kind of ranking them 1 to 10. And based on that, we'll be deciding which startup is ready for champions / VIP, which startup there are some gaps in terms of improvement. So please stick to time. Amritam will be your timekeeper for the day. He'll be giving you a prod after 9 minutes, saying 1 minute left. So it's an elevator pitch. And based on this pitch, we can arrange the next pitch for our SARTHY Angel Network / Partner Angel Network / VCs / family offices. Yeah. Happy to share that we built in the process of building investor network in the US also. So in fact, Vinay, my director, SARTHY Inc. Delaware, is actively helping build that network, and happy to find a lot of NRIs, and they are welcoming when we are bringing an Indian innovative startup made in India, best in the world, or made in the world, best in the world kind of startups to global. Hi, Devesh. Thanks, Devesh, for joining. Yeah. So we've got 10 pitches today, Devesh. Yeah, Devesh is again a mentor investor. Saroj is a mentor investor. Rajesh. So Devesh was a surprise. So I'll just add you to the panelists and I'll share the link for you, Devesh, to rate the startups. Yeah. So over to you, Grant. So we've got startups today from AI. We've got startups in renewable. We've got hyperlocal startups. We've got Healthtech startups. 2 startups in data analytics. 1 startup in workplace automation. We've got a Educative toy startup, and we also got an EV startup. So that's the width of startups we'll be seeing today. So we are sector agnostic. We get all startups. Some startups are in revenue mode. Some startups are getting into paid POCs, and some startups are at an early stage. Yeah. So over to you, Grant, and over to you, Amritam. You can tag time Verbalate.
Cool. Just make sure you guys can see the presentation.
Yes, Grant.
Yep, on the screen. Cool. Yes. I'll start then. I might go out midway and share a link for a video because there can be a delay on the video for this. So yeah, anyway, I'll start now. Yeah, so my name's Grant. I'm from Verbalate. We're a video translation platform that utilizes generative AI to make e-learning accessible to everyone. We're a nimble team of 2 people trying to solve a problem. So what's the problem? The problem is 93% of e-learning is in one language, English, whereas 80% of e-learners use English as a second language. So what's the solution? The solution is Verbalate Video Translator. I'm going to get out of this and I'll share a link for you in the chat. How do I stop that? Get to the chat. Okay. Sorry, just trying to find the chat box. How do I find the chat? Sorry.
Yeah, it's 5th actually on the bottom screen, Grant.
I've got to stop the share first. Oh, here we go. All right, cool. I'm just gonna, there you go. So I've just sent for a link. You can just watch that video. It's a 40-second video. Just gives you a good demo. I need it to be synced, and it won't sync that well over Zoom. Just let me know when you finished it, and I'll get back into the presentation.
No, I think you can continue the presentation, Grant, and folks will see it as per their minutes. Yeah. You can continue the presentation.
Okay. All right, cool. So, all right, presentation's back on. Can you all see?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So you've watched the video now, hopefully, and you understand what the product does. So yeah, how does it work? So we've developed and utilized state-of-the-art technology across voice recognition, transcription, translation, voice clone, facial recognition, and lip sync, combined with a community of 30,000 human translators across 300 different languages and 30 different subjects and industries, which makes it the best choice in application for e-learning applications. The business model is SaaS, $1 per minute, starting from $9 per month, which comes with 10 minutes of translation, and it's $1 per additional minute, or $49 per month, which comes with 60 minutes of translation at 85 cents per minute, and it's self-serve on the platform. Or you can use our enterprise service at $5 per minute. It puts a human in the loop, which we recommend for the e-learning applications or anything that's like medical, legal, government content, to make sure that the accuracy of the translation is 100% correct. We put a professional translator in the loop to fix it. So the product, since we started, we came up with the idea in May 2023. And we got the beta live in August, and we've been releasing new features every month since then. And the latest feature we've released is the the editor, where you can basically, on the left-hand side here, you can see the transcript. So once you upload the video, you get the transcript and you choose your language. And then you've got the translation on this side here. So if there's any mistakes in the transcript or translation, you can go and edit it there yourself, or someone in your team who speaks other language can do that, or we can do that on your behalf. And down here, you can select the speakers and change the speed and placement of the text, so and it still stays in the same tone. Because in some languages, for example, they use more words, and some use less words, so it comes across too slow or too fast. So with this, you can choose the timings, and once you've got the timings right, then you press a button and it'll process it, and it'll add the lip sync as well. So it syncs up all the links, the lips, so it looks like you're speaking the language properly, which you would have seen in that video. So traction's going pretty well. So since we launched, we've got 25,000 users using the platform. They're not all paid, but yeah, we're growing at a roughly 50% month on month, which is a combination of organic and a little bit of paid search that we've been using. Very small amount. We're getting, it's roughly 28 cents a sign up for a user. The conversion rate from free to paid is where the main issue is. So it's about 1% converting from free to paid. But we know why that is, because we've been talking about our paid users. Then they basically, they want the editor, they want a few other features that we're adding soon. So that'll be out in version 2, which will be out soon. And then once that's out, we imagine that we hope that the conversion rate from free to paid will increase and we'll have better retention. So defensibility, this is for defensibility, basically we have our community of translators. We also own most of the models. So we own the transcription side of the models, and the lip sync part of the models. And we've got 5 terabytes of voice recognition and lip sync data as well. We've also solved something called the cocktail party problem, which is a problem in AI that, as far as we're aware of, only 2 other researchers have figured this problem out. It's so basically the cocktail party problem is the ability to listen to everyone at once in isolation. So just pretend you're at a cocktail party and everyone's talking around you. It's really hard to know what people are saying. So basically we have the ability to isolate each individual voice and know every single thing that every person is saying and associate that text with that person. So it means when there's large groups of people talking in, say, a video or something like that, then we can easily isolate those speeches and say who's saying what. Also, the Endangered Languages Project, working with Telekom Malaysia on preserving 60 dialects across Malaysia. So, as you may or may not be aware, like species are dying, but also dying off. So, but also languages, because people aren't using certain languages as much as they used to. So we're working on preserving these dialects in Malaysia with Malaysia Telecom via recording phone calls with the telecom there, with permission, of course. So that way, at least we have a database and data set of all these dialects. So when they do go extinct, we will be able to recreate them via AI because we'll have the original source there, which I think is quite a cool project. And this qualification we're working on as well with the University of London and Barcelona to create the first ever AI dubbing qualification for universities. And that's part of the product growth as well. So hopefully we can have people training up in these courses and then they take our training with our platform out into the workplace. It's kind of like how Adobe did it with Photoshop. You know, everyone trained up when the Photoshop in their courses and then took that into the industry. So similar approach to them. Oh, I've changed the screen. So yeah, there's guardrails. So like any tool, they can be abused. I always say, I give one person a pencil. They could write a masterpiece. You give another person the same pencil and they'll jab it in your eye. So like any tool, yeah, it can be abused. So we have things in place. We use the Adobe C2PA protocol, which is the Coalition for Content Provenance and Authority. Which basically writes within the metadata and within the audio data to tell machine to machine that the content is AI generated, so that we can trace back the origin of the media as well. So that way, you know, if someone abuses the platform or content, they can at least alert whoever it is that needs to be alerted, or it can be, you know, noted on YouTube or Facebook or any social media platform. Hey, this is AI generated content, so that people can take it with a grain of salt. So yeah, 10 times on the market size. So it's a bit of a hard one to calculate, but yeah, so this is kind of how we approached it. So the TAM was $2 trillion, which is basically $1 per minute of video created annually globally. If we give it a dollar value, and you say 25% of those videos are e-learning. That was a number that we drew from some data that we looked at. It's about 25% of all the video content creators is learning of some sort. Could be anywhere from a YouTuber creating a cooking video about how to make a certain cooking dish all the way through to a university professor, which equals 500 billion. And say 2.5% of that would be $150 million for the sum. And yeah, go to market, social by design. So influencers, you may or may not know, have most of them, 50% of influencers have a course that they sell or sell other people's courses. So we're basically going to approach all those influencers that are selling courses and offer to translate them on their behalf in return for some promotion of sorts, or pay them to do that. And also product-led growth as well via watermarking across free video creation. So if anyone who creates a free video, there'll be a page for that where they can share it. So at least we'll get hopefully some sort of growth from that, or some sort of sharing social side of it as well. And I already touched on this already, but yeah, working with the universities to create the course and get them to bring that into industry as well. We also have the API, so for product integration. So hopefully we can integrate into some sort of LMS platforms or learning management systems or any sort of video editing platforms and things like that.
We'll also have one more minute left. One more minute left.
That's plenty of time. We'll also be doing a lot of social media marketing, SEO, content creation, and paid ads as well. So yeah, we're asking for 1 million for 10%. With that, we're going to build out the team some more. And create digital media spend and build out a dubbing course. And I think with that, we'll also hit profitability and also hit the 1 million user mark. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Thanks, Ram. That was quick. Yeah, thanks. So you can unshare and folks, we are open for questions, especially from the panelists, Devesh, Rajesh, Saeed, Saroj, Mudit, Vinay. We're open for questions.
Yeah, I have just
one. Yeah, sure.
You have not given the competitive landscape. Who are your competitors and where are you opposing them? And also, what is the basis of this 10 million valuation actually?
Say the last bit again, sorry.
What is the basis of this 10 million valuation? You have any metrics like team size or vis-a-vis competition? You might have something in mind while you arrive 10 million valuation.
Yeah, sure. But for starters, that number was wrong because that's my old pitch. Was actually asking for for 5 million valuation on that. So anyway, just to answer your first question, Bessie, our first competitors are HeyGen, if you've heard of them or not. They're the largest competitor in our field. And the difference between us and them is basically our community that we have of the translators to verify everything, which is why we're focusing on e-learning, because that all needs to be verified, because training videos need to be correct. And also our API, which HeyGen does not offer an API. Yeah, so that's our main difference between them. And Rask as well is it's a Russian company. They have a similar product too, and pricing is better than theirs, and our community as well. But they have an API as well. But I think our product's better than the Rask product. And also, yeah, the pricing's better. And the valuation basically is the technology we've put into it and the time we put onto it as well, and the development we put into it as well. That's basically where we came up with the valuation. There's 5 million valuation as well, not a 10 million that was in the deck. Sorry, yeah.
What I know, little Saroj, is not many people are trying to solve this problem in the US, where language is kind of English, versus say China, Russia, India, where we have so much of English content and we have so many consumers who don't understand English. So it's the innovation is happening outside US is what my little understanding is. And that's what I thought Grant has tried to build 20 input, 20 output languages is using AI. Yeah.
Yeah, but only one input is last slide. It is not written Dhanyabad.
No Hindi. No, he showed me Hindi video. In fact,
we do Hindi. We do Hindi.
Yeah.
We do Hindi.
Yeah, Devesh, you have a question?
Yeah, hi Grant. Hi, this is Devesh.
Hey, Devesh. Hey.
What was your accuracy rate when you started the algos, and what is it now today? Your hit rate? Yeah.
So the accuracy rate, we call it a WER. It's a word error rate. So that's the score we're kind of working with to improve our models. When we started, it was about 86%, so it's about 14% incorrect. But now we're at about 98% in terms of the accuracy. Where the errors come through is when the quality of the audio is bad. So if you've got really poor audio, lots of hard background noise or lots of people talking over it, the errors will appear, which is why we have the editor. So you can go in and fix those errors if there are errors. And it's also why we also recommend putting the human in the loop as well to verify everything to make sure it's correct, especially when it's for medical, legal, political, or any educational content like L&D stuff. Like large corporations have internal training stuff in different languages, and they also have a localization team quite often, and this would kind of fall under that umbrella as well. So they might have multilingual people already within the team that could just go and use the editor. But yeah, it's pretty accurate, around 98%. We say, I can't say 100% because we just can't say that. But quite often it's, if it's really good audio quality and you speak at a decent pace, it'll be pretty much perfect. It's just when you throw in like local terms and things, and you translate them, they don't always translate correctly. So we're also building a translation memory translation thing. So basically anytime editors go in and change things and correct them, it can be added to a memory translation memory. And we're also building out a what's it called? I guess you'd call it like a like a branded kind of terms. So like certain languages, there's certain technical terms you want translated into a certain way or don't want translated, like your brand name. It was Apple, for example. You don't want Apple translated into whatever Apple is in French, pomme de terre. It needs to be Apple still. So things like that, certain things you can have translated into a certain way and certain things you don't want translated a certain way. So there's this company in Germany, they do tailoring. They've been around for like hundreds of years, like since the 1300s or something. And they they have all these custom terms that they've invented themselves. Because it's a very technical, well, I wouldn't think it is, but yeah, super technical terms that they've come up with, and they've got their own translations for what they are in each language. So it's like a library, basically, of your own words that would be how you want them to appear.
I guess my question, just to pinpoint on that a little more, is how's your fallout rate, which is the inverse of the accuracy rate? How's your fallout rate on languages where the character sets are very huge, like Chinese and Japanese? Which I would imagine also is one of the biggest markets. I mean, they are one of the least understood. English is one of the least understood there. I mean, I'm sure you've been to China and Japan. So what's your fallout rate there?
It's about the same. So yeah, it's pretty good, especially when it's going to English. The hard things is sometimes when it's going, let's say, from a really obscure language to another really obscure, like Finnish to Japanese or something, that the error rates go up in those areas. but over time they will start to increase. The main reason is because the data set there is lower than it is because everything's in English. Like everything goes to English, especially across these large language models. Because we don't own the translation model. That's probably the one model that we probably won't ever own, because those, the foundation models, you're probably talking about $250 million to build one of those. But what we basically do is figure out the best model per language and per language pair, because each language is actually better in different models. So Google Translate, for example, is really good in Hindi, but it's really bad in Japanese. It's not very good in Spanish. So we use different ones for those different languages, and whatever the model pair is, we use the best model for that. And we have that WER score that I was talking about before, the word error score. And we just work on whatever that percentage is, and we work on whatever's got the highest percentage, and we use that model. And we test it every now and then to just make sure that, because they do change, of course, the update, and they get better or worse over time. And then we just keep it up to date with whichever the best one is.
Fine, Grant. I think we are time up. Yeah, thanks for the questions.
Cool.
And follow on, we can have a detailed presentation if folks want. Yeah, thanks, Grant. We'll go to Gap Solar. Subodh and Krusha, you can share your screen.
And please watch the video.
The VIP startup. Yeah, sure. Thanks, Grant.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. So 10 minutes, Subodh, Krusha, you can share about Gap Solar.
Okay, so basically, this is a system which is for solar energy, electricity generation, and other things. It's different from the existing PV systems because we are using basically concentrated photovoltaic dishes. So basically, we have an intention of having a net zero carbon planet, which means all sources of polluting sources of power to be removed with only solar power. The market is phenomenally large. It's an extremely large potential for market. So basically, in a quick thing, we have a system which is a very low-cost operating system, operates at very high efficiencies in excess of 30%. We can also do green fuel generations, and we can also have the ability, in addition to generating electricity, to converting coal plants into solar plants. As I said, the market is extremely large. It's growing at a very fast pace. There are shortcomings in the current technologies which limit the amount of growth in the solar industry. But once you have a perfect system, which we are putting out, it'll give a much more cost-effective power generation output. So in terms of existing solar plants, which operate at about 15%, we have a much higher efficiency of about 30%. We also have round-the-clock power provisions, which is not there in most cases. In the case of Gap Solar, we have the provision that we can have round-the-clock power very easily. In fact, it's almost built in. We always promote only round-the-clock power. So the basic thing about Gap Solar is it's an alternative to coal plants also. We don't scrap the coal plants. We can convert coal plants, so we don't waste the infrastructure. We have small-sized dishes concentrating the light onto a small point, heating up a gas to 800 degrees in excess of that. Then the working fluid goes to a heat storage unit where the energy is transferred, part of the energy is transferred to the heat storage unit. And the heat storage unit basically consists of sand. From there, we drive a steam turbine. So we have a normal existing system of steam turbines and other systems which we have. And it's not any different from current what a coal plant would be, basically where you're just powering it's the source of heat. Basically, the source of heat could be either solar power or it could be nuclear or it could be coal. In this case, we'll just provide the energy from solar power and therefore eliminating the pollution and other systems. So it's a very simple design, very cost effective. We will be having power at a very low cost, much lower than what's possible currently. And we have a number in the system which we have developed. It's not a system which is just an existing technology, put 5 things together and, market it as a new product. This is something that we have totally done from scratch. We have a completely patented global patents on the entire design. The entire solar array is patented. The insulation system we've developed a special insulation which did not exist before. It's an insulation which allows you, it's virtually what I would call an infinite insulator in the sense that in just a very small space, you can effectively ensure that you have virtually zero loss of energy. And this is one of the things that allows us to get to high temperature operation, because our insulation ensures you don't lose any energy. Our insulation is at least 1 million times better than the next insulation that currently exists. And this is something that we have developed ourselves, and we have global patents for it. The patents basically are incorporating the piping system, the receiving system, the dish drive system, the heat storage system, and the insulation system, of course. Now, in terms of heat storage, once we get to the high temperature that we want, 800 degrees, we are operating at high temperatures because we want high efficiencies. And we are basically using sand as the heat storage unit, which is very cheap. It has the advantage that it's virtually free of cost. You can build a very large heat storage unit. So basically, if you want to, say, convert a coal plant, you can't just have a 3-4 hour backup like they do in PV system. They'll put 3-hour backup with batteries and say, okay, you have a backup. That's not a backup. If you want to, currently what happens is during the day you generate power from PV systems, and at night the coal power takes over. Our system will permit us to convert all coal plants into solar plants, and that's more than 70% of the current energy of the world is still generated from fossil fuel. So we don't just eliminate the current pollution, we also eliminate the existing pollution that is there. So our system is very simple. Once after the gas has left gone through the piping system, it goes to the heat exchanger, deposits some of its energy. Then it goes to a heat exchanger. Sorry, the heat storage goes to the heat storage unit, deposits some of its energy, then goes to a heat exchanger, where the energy of the primary solar array is transferred into a steam cycle. So our primary array is consisting of using helium as a working fluid, and the secondary system is basically utilizing steam, which is an existing technology. We have not done any changes to that. So once we generate the heat, transfers the heat into the turbine system, and the turbine generates electricity as any existing system currently does. The advantages of our system, obviously, is the continuous generation of electricity, which is something that is critical. If you don't have continuous generation, and not just 3-4 hours, you should have at least a 5-day backup. Our system allows for a 5-day backup because the heat storage unit is extremely cheap. Since we're just using sand, and we have pipes and fins that are running through the sand. In the daytime, some of the energy is transferred to the sand. We get the sand red hot in the daytime, and at night we extract energy from the sand. We cycle the heat storage unit between 800 degrees and 600. 600 is the lowest temperature, 800 is the highest temperature, and this allows us to store energy which is even more than the phase change of most liquids. So we can store a large amount of energy, and we can basically run the stuff. The advantages of our system, of course, is that we can also generate green fuels. The cost of our electricity is much cheaper. We intend to price it at 2 rupees a kilowatt hour. And because of the low price of our fuel, of our electricity, we can also generate green fuels at a lower cost than other people can. Of course, the first stage that we are going to be doing is generating electricity. That's the first essential we have. After we generate electricity, eventually we'll move into the other things like coal, green fuels and stuff, maybe a couple of years down the line. The existing systems, comparison of the existing systems, they have the problem of backup, they have the high cost, and also the capital cost is very high. In our case, it's very easy to scale up with our system. It's a very simple design, extremely simple. We operate at high temperatures, allows us to have higher efficiencies in excess of 30% compared to anybody else. They have much lower efficiencies. The sand storage is very useful, and we can scale up very, very fast, so that even if you have to build large plants, you can do it in a very short period of time. So basically, the current state of the technologies, we've developed all the systems, R&D, everything has been completely done. We have thoroughly tested all the systems. Each of the individual systems has been thoroughly tested in the lab stage by us. And now we want to build a fully working plant. We require for that approximately 3 to 5 crores. 1 or 2 crores we'll put in, 2, 3, 4 crores we hope to raise. And we've already spent around 5 crores of our own money in the patents and various other developments. We are currently bootstrapped. We haven't raised any money so far. And so currently what we want to do is build a fully working plant, put everything together, and have a small plant which demonstrates the technology completely. And that's the current requirement we are raising the funds for.
Yeah. You're done, Subodh?
Yeah.
Great. Thanks. Thanks, Subodh. That was well on time. Yeah, we're open for questions. You can stop sharing the screen also. Yeah, we are open for questions. especially from folks who've understood this space. Of course, Vinay had a detailed discussion with Subodh before also. Yeah, we open for questions, team.
So, just one question: are you with Gaurav Jha?
No, no, no.
It's not part of that green tech solar.
No, we're not. No, we're different.
Most of the solar startups in India are execution startups, Saroj. Hardly any innovative startups who are patented. Yeah. Gaurav Jha has got a similar concept as per you?
Yes, green tech. So he sent me your presentation, so I thought, gave solar project pitch deck I have also. Right now I was seeing this.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So you may anyway connected Gaurav Jha, that's what maybe he just sent that another startup with green tech something.
Okay. So Saroj is from this coal and that he's been in Tata Solar and all that. Yeah.
This is what I was saying.
Great. So any questions or comments, Sarojji? You know the space well.
Yes, this is actually evolving, and I have seen that when my few layouts also we are procuring this kind of people, because the conversion is becoming difficult because of people want it but they don't know. There is a branded supplier they can rely, because this whole thing expects to spend 5 to 10 lakhs or 15 lakhs, but they don't know. But there is a big market, and I know I am working with 2 more guys. You are not part of Gaurav Jha, because you said is that we have given some project to them also. But this really, the big potential is there. I can see that very much. And especially layouts and all, where there is land.
No, so we have investors who are waiting to invest once they see the functional prototype.
Well, not only that, but customers also waiting for this kind of.
Yeah, customers are also waiting. Steel plants, power plants, captive plants. Yeah, good. Yeah, so it's a very. I really was happy when I saw it made in India, best in the world kind of technology. In fact, there are US investors who Gap Solar will be pitching to soon. Yeah. Yeah, Devesh, any questions? Devesh, Vinay, any questions? No? Devesh, Vinay?
No questions. No.
Mudit, many of you are looking at this first time. Yeah, Mudit, any questions?
No questions from my end as well.
Okay, fine. So anyone else any question? Or we can move to the next presentation. Otherwise.
Yeah, Girish, I've already given all my questions.
Yeah, you have. Yeah, you have.
So I don't have any.
Sure. Thanks. Subodh and Grusha. Yeah. And we'll surely take forward. Yeah, Rajesh, ZopNote, over to you. You can share about ZopNote, Rajesh.
Okay.
So ZopNote is a cohort 14 startup. Yeah. Go ahead, Rajesh.
Let me share.
And request panelists to rate the startups in the sheet. It's fresh in your mind, so you can rate it. If you're rating lower score, do give the comments. We'll be compiling everything and deciding who are VIP ready. And it's validation for us also. Some startup we believe are VIP, but your validation is really valuable to us. So please rate that. And Team SARTHY also, please rate Priyanshu, Amritam, please rate. Yeah. Go ahead, Rajesh, all yours.
Okay. Hey, thanks. The ZopNote vision is empowering proximity commerce. When I say proximity commerce, you can relate it to a hyperlocal commerce. Really to empower the micro businesses that you see around your neighborhood. We want to empower them by giving affordable digital technology. We start with managing their business transaction to gain the efficiency. Then we go on to really help grow their business and also make them bankable. That's the vision that we carry. Empowering proximity commerce is really empowering these small businesses. It's more of a B2B as a primary solution. That's what ZopNote vision is. The team, I come with around 25 years experience, initial 9 to 10 years working for startup, then worked a little longer product R&D at HP, then back to last 9 years has been a startup, running our own startup. This is, we exited IREF around 2018 end. That was a B2C successful startup. Then we started ZopNote. With me, Prasanna Agde is a CTO. He's a more virtual type. I mean, as an advisor, not a full-time. We work together in the earlier startup also. We have other Nizam, who is helping on the product side, and he is also has a couple of SaaS products. Shivaram on the marketing side, and I have other Abhijit and Chengappa also as a part-time helping out on this journey. We started around 2019, bootstrap. Then I raised in 2011 July timeframe. We raised around 34 lakhs to build the initial product. We launched it, and after that, I think almost 1.5 years, not much happened during the COVID. Then we were selected for the Elevate program from Karnataka government, which gave us the grant, which took all the learnings from the initial pilot and the problems that we saw in the local commerce environment. We rebuilt the product, which is more cloud solution scalable, which we launched end of December 2013. And at present, we are in the kind of hitting the product market fit in different categories and also kind of scaling the business. That's where we are. On the journey, I think we were started incubated at NASCOM, then Microsoft Accelerator. Later also, we were part of the Elevate program, currently being mentored at SARTHY. At present, also part of the IIM NSR cell. And last year, we were fortunate to be recognized organically from the Inc. 42 as one of the top 30 startups in India. So what is the problem that we are solving? The landscape is very huge. I mean, if you look at the formal economy, that's where most of the apps, everything getting built. If you really look at the informal economy, it's very huge. I think organizing the unorganized sector is a kind of a drive or what gets us to build this ZopNote. And the size of the problem that we're looking at, 30% of this hyperlocal business are not, I mean, less than 30% are digitized. Rest are kind of having huge issues. I'll quantify this to 250,000 crores, which is equivalent to 35 billion little later. But all these transactions that happens around your neighborhood are mostly orders are processed manually collecting the money, and which kind of leads to a revenue leakage and a longer collection cycle, which hits the cash flow. That's a fundamental problem. Now, if I list down 3 problems that we want to solve for this sector, first one is the cash flow. Because of the manual bookkeeping, that leads to a lot of revenue leakage, manual collection and a long cycle time to do it. And even in spite of a UPI, there is always a reconciliation problem that does not solve. UPI is a P2P solution. So cash flow management is a problem, first problem, or the common denominator across the micro businesses. Second, nearly 40% of the service in the neighborhood are by nature subscription in nature. So when the subscription, I think it's managing, generating the bills, sending it, collecting it, it's a recurring. And also knowing the demand of tomorrow, I think these people don't have a technology. So there's a lot of wastage if it is a vegetable or a milk kind of a business. So supply management for those recurring businesses is the second problem. While these people are doing it, the third problem has become a lot more important in the recent days because of the quick commerce or the B2C players eating up their wallet or their business. So customer convenience to shop with the existing mom and pop shops or any of the product and services sold in the neighborhood, they continue to face this challenge. Managing this customer and retaining them is a third problem these businesses have. So let's look at who is our customer. Our customers are these micro businesses having regular customers, having regular transactions, typically a product and service. The right side picture kind of shows you around the neighborhood different service providers. We have picked these 5 categories where we are kind of narrowing down what we are solving. First one is the subscription service, example, newspaper, milk, water. There could be many people running a tuition class, yoga class, gym, kind of services. Second is the stores, hyperlocal stores. It could be a kirana store, could be a meat shop, or any general trades, I would say, I think fall into that. Hyperlocal services could be a car wash, could be anything that you avail a service in the neighborhood, fall into that third category. Fourth one is the home businesses, people having a home kitchen or a home bakers or have a special products which they distribute as a, so all fall into the fourth category as the home businesses and distributors. It's just a level above for some of the business having the same delivery and collection, right? They also struggle with bookkeeping and collection, right? So these are the 5 categories where we have built the product, which is ready and kind of iterated. And in some cases, we are continuing to run the beta. In some cases, we are already product market fit. So let me address the size of the market coming back. We did a two-way. One is a bottom-up approach, really looking at for every 250 houses, there is a newspaper vendor, there is a milk vendor. If you roll it up, newspaper could be a 15,000 crore annually. Milk is still growing 85,000 crore annually. When you roll up, it's around 250,000 crore businesses that happens annually, which are manual. If you do the top down, it's kind of coming from a 3.5 trillion. It's like a 1/3 of MSME, and take 80% of our offline, it's kind of a 700 to 800 billion. We consider 10% of that are remote orders, kind of a transaction done on credit. So that's our market size. So it's in anywhere between 35 to 70 billion. We are looking at least 10% of that getting digitized, and immediately in the near future, we are looking at the serviceable is a 20%, which is 100 crore business. So solution is very clear. We help these micro businesses to expand their business online by providing efficient bookkeeping, faster collection, and better customer retentions. We handle all their orders management. We start with a simple 2-minute onboarding store setup. They add the regular customers organized by the routes from their contact list, and they are ready to go. If it is a subscription, we gather the subscription information, and we take care of month-on-month billings and collection, reconciliation, and settlement. That's the solution for micro merchants. On the other side, we are a B2B2C. We also help their customers to discover them and maintain regular transactions, subscriptions, making payments at their convenience. So we provide the convenience to their customers to continue to stay engaged and run their business. So coming to a business model, from a go-to-market, we have tried a feet on the street that will continue to remain the initial seeding wherever we go to a different cities. As of now, we are just launched it in Bangalore. We have reached around 1,100 kind of communities in Bangalore, with around 72,000 end customers using ZopNote to pay their merchants. We have around 500 plus merchants actively using, where we are generating revenues around 120. We also explored the distribution network for this kind of an influencer network to scale. We experimented and we have been successful.
We have 1 more minute left on the clock.
Okay.
1 more minute to go, please.
Thank you. So we have reached to these distribution points through sale, and also we are looking at a white label solution and growth partnership like community apps like MyGate and others. And ONDCs are something we are watching very closely. And we will do the digital at a later stage. Our monetization is purely a SaaS. For on-demand, we charge per order. For a subscription, we charge per customer, per subscriber, per month. So competition, we are not a e-commerce enabler or an inventory or a marketplace. We are purely a SaaS model, B2B2C, and more of a decentralized model. I'll cover, I think we are different from a ledger solutions with what the overall system that we provide them. From a B2C, it's purely a B2C. We are more of a B2B focused. From an e-commerce platforms, I think they don't solve both sides. We solve demand and supply both. GST invoicing, accounting, there are many applications. We kind of looking at 25 lakh and below kind of customers that we want to serve. This is the kind of attraction we have. We process around 2.2 CR worth of transactions. We are growing at a 5 to 6% month on month. Onboarding the merchants, around 3,000 customers we are adding month on month. At present, we are not spending anything on the marketing. It's more of a referral with our own one person kind of doing the sales. This is the roadmap for us to hit 10,000 paying merchants. That would lead to around 10 million transaction, 2.5 customer base. So we want to reach this over 18 to 24 months. That's what we are looking at, for which we are planning to raise 3.3 CR, which is around 400K. This is where we would be investing the money. And these are some of the validation testimonials on the merchants and customer side. Yeah.
Thanks, Rajesh. Quickly on time. Yeah, we're open for questions, team. Especially folks who are seeing it for the first time. I think Rajesh Gupta, Devesh, open for questions.
So, Rajesh, this is Rajesh here, Rajesh Gupta.
Hi, Rajesh.
Hi. Quick question with respect to your SaaS-based solution. Understanding that it's fitting the micro businesses, is it a headless commerce solution? Because there are so many things going on around in the market. How does your solution will fit into those various diverse needs of my neighborhood? For example, in a particular society, you have certain norms are there, certain rules are there, certain compliances are there. Every society will have something. So how does your platform provide those so-called case-to-case configuration so that the respective entities or service providers can be onboarded and that are approved by the respective neighborhoods?
Sure. I think very good question. I think as we understood the local commerce, you can put most of the services into a on-demand. If I put a kind of a four quadrant, it will be a on-demand or a subscription or a postpaid or a prepaid. So we have built the platform of the product and service to cater to anybody. That, for example, newspaper, I take it as a postpaid subscription. Milk is a prepaid subscription. If you look at the Kirana shop, it's like on demand. Typically, some are postpaid because they give a credit, people clear it, right? So we have built the product which can be configured, right? For example, if I take somebody is doing a fruits services, right? I mean, delivering, packaging, and deliver. So that can be customized. If it is a car wash, you can define set of services on our platform, add the customers and add the subscription, and we take care of the billing according to their typical operation. We don't change any of their operation, what they're doing, but that's how we have built the product to customize to a different needs of the neighborhood. Does that give a...
Sure. Yes.
Yeah.
One more question, and I think Devesh will be ready with some questions. Since we are a SaaS platform, there could be challenges with respect to the delivery of the services or something else, which is there are issues from the customer standpoint. How those will be addressed by the platform will be provided by the support will be by the service provider or the services or the Kirana store, or there will be some kind of a weave in from your team with the customer and doing a kind of a handshaking between the parties.
Okay. So our take in the initial stage where we wanted to really digitize the existing operations, right? In a way, we are very asset light. We are not looking into logistics, kind of online inventory, promotions. A lot of these things are probably comes for these micro business a little later when they really expand. What they really needed is a simple being available online, discoverable, taking orders, could be a WhatsApp order, could be a phone call order process. That's what we have built. But we have built a simple CRM because on the other side, customers have changed or adopted to newer solutions. To being competent, they can raise an issue which will go to the merchant, non-delivery of a product or anything that will get addressed. So we have a minimal CRM, but we are not owning the product quality or a service at this time. We haven't introduced the reputation layer yet, but we will eventually do to really make this a kind of a platform compete with others.
Sure. Thank you, Rajesh. No more questions.
Thanks.
Devesh, you have a question?
Yeah, I'm just conscious that we don't have much time. So
30 seconds. We can take 30 seconds more. Yeah.
Yeah. Rajesh, firstly, I liked your team slide, okay? And shows a lot of commitment. You guys have come together. You've been at it for almost 5 years now, after you exited your previous one. So well done.
Thank you.
I have two questions. One is why, if ONDC were to add this layer in, then how would you differentiate yourself? Because I know Nandan and the team are doing a lot of work in the space, maybe not in the, and I'm joking here, milk vendor and newspaper vendor space, but they are doing a lot of work in the hyperlocal space. So how are you different from ONDC? And my second question, which is more a rhetorical one, is that given the current GST regime, which kicks in at 20 lakhs, I actually think these vendors don't want to get formalized. They want to stay in cash. So don't you think you're going to face resistance?
Okay. So I'll take the first one, my favorite, always on the ONDC. Right from day one, even today, I've been connected. I'm part of the ONDC teams also, including some of the groups actively. They have built the platform open network based on the assumption there is a product inventory being digitized. Only then you can connect with a seller app and get listed so that buyer apps can discover it. The fundamental requirement is a digital inventory. Most of these Indian businesses, nearly 80% of the small mom and pop shops really don't have, and they have an overhead to maintain this. They don't even use, they don't see the value overhead cost. So ONDC is not addressing at this time. If they really want to do a non-inventory based is what we have built, but we can always go to a listing. We do for a milk vendor listing a certain products, right? Some of those can get listed. We can leverage the ONDC. At this moment, I see ONDC is not catering to a small businesses without having a products and a digital inventory. That I see as a gap at present. So it's only for a small business above 50 lakhs or maybe a crore. Second, you're talking about most of these neighborhood services, they don't even have. I think I don't even have except 5% merchants that I have don't have a GST. I think their operation at the size of that will continue to do it. We are in a way to want to bring in the awareness, to educate them, get on to the digital record at least, so that you will be eligible for some credit, bankable at later time to show it. But the initial resistance was probably 4 years back when we started. Now I don't think they even think about everything anyway coming through UPI is online. 80 to 87% comes through UPI today. All that we collect every month around 1 crore, right? Majority is a UPI. So I think they are not so much worried, but there are people, they don't want to record it so much or get onto an online application. There is a percentage, but things are changing. I think the only way these people will become, we can empower them when they get into a online businesses or a GST.
Yeah, yeah. Well answered. I'm sorry, I called you Rajesh. I think you're Karthik. I apologize. Are you
Rajesh? Rajesh.
Oh, Rajesh, right? Okay, sorry, I got confused. Rajesh, one humble submission, and given my past experience in startups, and there are many other very clever people on this call, so I don't even have to. I think you're going B2C. My humble submission is consider B2B. So, for example, the milk vendor example you gave, maybe going to KMF and getting them as a push to enable the milk vendors. Maybe an easier route than going B2C and going on the street. I mean, this is my offhand view. B2B is much easier than B2C.
Yeah, we are completely on a B2B. As of today,
so he's considering even your small vendor as a C, Rajesh. He's considering the small vendor as a C.
Yeah, I'm viewing a small vendor as a C, Rajesh, not B.
Okay.
Fine.
So I'm saying instead of chasing 5,000 milk vendors in Bangalore, go to KMF, sell them the solution, and then push them to get the milk vendors to get onto this platform.
Yeah, I think we can definitely catch up. We did that with Times of India instead of working with.
Correct. Times of India also, or Indian Express. Correct. I was going to go there next. Absolutely.
Thanks, Devesh. Thanks, Rajesh. And don't forget to rate also, Rajesh. You have a rating sheet in your name. Don't forget to rate. Rajesh, ZopNote. Yeah, over to Kaushik. So Kaushik, thanks for joining. Kaushik is a Cohort 10 startup for Svasthiya. So he'll be presenting about Svasthiya. It's a Healthtech startup. So quite a few Healthtech enthusiasts in the forum. Kaushik, over to you. You can share your screen.
Thanks.
And hi, Saeed.
Hi.
Good morning. And thanks for getting up early for this, Saeed. Yeah. Saeed is based in California. So it's, I think, 4:30 or 5 a.m. in the morning. Yeah. Go ahead, Kaushik.
Hi, thanks, Girish. Are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. I just want to play a short video. I just shared my screen.
Go ahead, Kaushik.
Let me know if you're not able to hear the audio. Are you able to see my screen?
Taking time to stop. Yeah, we can see the screen, Kaushik.
Yeah, I'm just playing the audio. Are you able to hear the audio?
Very skeletal. It's very low.
It's very low?
Yeah, it's very low. But there's transcription at the bottom, so we can read that.
Okay.
All you need to do is just push it to the server and everything within a matter of seconds. So as a layman, this field for me was fantastic. See, I was very skeptical because I thought this is just, but you just probably pass. So this was done so quickly and seamlessly, and none of our staff was struggling, but so we hardly came to know when we came to install. All we knew is the next day we talked to images, reports, we do the feedback. So I would say the onboarding system is fabulous. Customers are giving the fact there have been quite a few reviews stating the same. There were a lot of doctors who are messaging that video because now they're able to watch the images as if they're sitting in our center. It's like watching like a radiologist report. You watch the images even through all the images. It doesn't need to see some JPEG format like you can see just like these reports. It's fabulous. And then one more point is we are using Swam for camps. One is in camps. How we do that? How is it? You come and take the camps. You have that burden. So now all we need to do is collect the samples with the tests. The reports are just so seamlessly done, so beautifully done. I think it's also a very big advantage in camp settings, which I told you also, which you should be sharing with them.
Yeah. Okay, thanks. So my name is Kaushik. I'm the founder of Svasthiya Technologies, and Swam is the name of our platform. And yeah, okay. You guys are able to see my screen, right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So these are some of the problems that we solve. That's basically on the left side, we have a patient who's already done his scan, and he had to go and make another trip to the center just to collect the films or the DVD. And on the other hand, you have doctors where they have the patients who are basically forced to come all the way to the center to basically show the films and then show the DVD and show the reports and all of that. And some of it is still alleviated via WhatsApp, but then all of us know that WhatsApp does a whole lot of image compression, and image compression is something that you absolutely do not want for medical images. And the third one is as an owner, right? As an owner of a center, how do you cut costs and increase your bottom line? Now this is we are the Swam team. My name is Kaushik here, and this is my development partner Rahul, and we have a development team of about 10 people right now. And these are some of our strategy advisors from Philips Medical, and also somebody who works as closely with NDHM. And also we have 2 medical advisors, and we have the legal, financial, and we also got selected by Google Cloud for Startups. And of course, SARTHY has been very, very instrumental in helping us secure our round of funding. And we were also, while we were with Google, we also got nominated by Google for Forbes Asia Top 100 Startups to watch out for. So now coming on to the healthcare industry realities and challenges. As you know, the Indian digital healthcare market is about INR 883 billion close to by Feb 2027, and it's growing at a CAGR of 21%. And this comprises primarily of diagnostics, which is running at a CAGR of 12 to 13%, telehealth, mHealth, 22%, and overall health expenditure, if you see, that's just about 2.1% of your GDP. Okay. So what exactly is SWAM, right? So SWAM is a patient-centric healthcare digitization platform, and this basically stands on 3 pillars. The first pillar is a patient-friendly mobile app for mHealth, which is basically one app for all of your patient healthcare needs. So you do not need to carry basically bulky medical folders, files with films, with CDs, with reports, everything, and then some prescriptions, all of that. Everything is removed. You just have one app on your mobile, and then it goes with you anywhere you go. And you can also actually securely share it with your family circles and doctors. And this here we are in line with the National Digital Health Mission. And then we also we also want to have partnership with other platforms to enable specific use cases. And the other pillar is basically the highly secure anytime, anywhere access. This is basically for medical professionals, where we very seamlessly enable secure and collaborative teleradiology, and we also have secure sharing of reports and images with referring doctors. And also, we want to be able to enable collaboration between medical experts at a global scale. And one of the uniqueness of our business models is that it's zero capex. And then finally, the third pillar is intelligent analytics, where with all of this data, with all of the image data, and then the reports and all of that, not only for the radiology, but even for pathology, we want to be able to drive the patient experience by recommending various healthcare service providers, discovery of medical shops, and then discovery of new treatments, and improving the productivity of the doctors and all of that. So when we say analytics, it is analytics for all of the stakeholders involved. So what are the business outcomes when we use SWAM? So our main our main as B2B customer is your diagnostic center and the hospital, and the immediate advantage that they get is with respect to operational expenditure reduction. So basically, their profit margin goes up by 8 to 12% per scan, and from a customer standpoint, there is huge actually savings of money and time for the patient. So as a result, there is a huge increase in patient satisfaction, which in turn benefits your diagnostic center and hospital. And because we are also actually improving the productivity of the staff, as a result, they're able to handle more patients in a day, and which basically results in an increase in revenue of up to 22%. And regarding the UN SDG, we are in line with UN SDG 3, 9, 11, 12, and 13. And moving on to the patient. So how exactly does SWAM help the patient? Right now, anywhere in India you go, you are basically, after a scan is over, you are basically given a few minutes to wait. Maybe it would be 30 minutes, maybe 45 minutes, or worst case, you're asked to come the next day for your physical media, right? Your films, your CD or DVD and all of that. SWAM basically disrupts all of that. Immediately after the scan is over, the patient can just go home. Everything is sent digitally to the mobile. And after, and then of course, once you're given physical media, then the patient, if he needs to share it with his referring doctor, he needs to be able to scan it, and he basically does it via WhatsApp, which, as we discussed earlier, that's not an optimal solution. Now, if he has a CD, which has a whole lot of digital data, he needs to find a USB CD drive, because none of our laptops read CDs these days. At least more than 95% of the laptops that are being sold do not read CD technologies at all. So you need to be tech savvy to be able to understand, okay, how do you do this? So whereas in case of SWAM, we basically disrupt all of that via a simplified patient controlled digital share with anybody in the world who has a mobile number or email ID. And coming to the target market potential, here's our TAM, SAM, and SOM. So that's okay. Our TAM, if you consider only India, is about 2.5 lakh hospitals, diagnostic centers, and labs. And this is also including your mom and pop diagnostic centers, right? The small ones, which are like, for instance, 100 square feet of space, they just do blood test, for example, right? Those guys. Out of this, out of 2.5 lakhs is about 35,000 diagnostic centers and hospitals in South India. And then our SOM is about 300 hospitals and diagnostic centers in South India. And if you see the Indian diagnostics market, you have close to about 69,000 hospitals, which is split as actually private of 43.
We have 1 more minute to go.
Yeah,
one more minute left.
Sure. And then we have the telehealth, mHealth opportunities, which is huge. And also we have potential demand in Australia, UAE, USA, etc. And this is our business model. We have basically a B2B and a B2C, but we're focusing right now on the B2B. And this is a go-to-market. So right now from the SOM, where SWAM goes to market, to actually market where we want to reach, wherein the market comes to SWAM. And this is our traction and projection. We are already live in 4 centers. We are already having 4.8 million images, and it's increasing daily. It's completely automated. We have a completely automated pipeline. And these are some of the challenges. I'll not go into these details. And what we are looking for is actually funding plus. So we are not looking for only funding. We just completed our last round of funding, and we have now a healthy runway for about 1.5 to 2 years easily. And this is our expectation that mentorship, guidance, and They're also commitment to impact. And we're also involved as part of one of the standardization initiatives. I'm in fact involved. I'm also speaking to DICOM and also IEEE. And this is actually our competitive analysis. We come here as well as here. And yeah, there's a validation you've already seen. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Thanks, Kaushik. I need you had to rush up in the end, but you are in 4 centers, you were saying. One owner, 4 centers, or 4 multi-center facilities?
It's basically one owner, 2 centers, and then other 2 centers.
Okay, but why is it taking time to scale? Because the scale seems to be slow. What is holding scale?
Yeah, so thing is, this was a sort of a conscious decision. In fact, after our SARTHY cohort, we decided as per the thing, we actually reevaluated our road priorities, and we decided to focus on B2B. And earlier it was a product, now it is a platform. So because it's a platform, we decided that we need to, it's basically threefold. So we basically tested our thing. We got about 1 lakh revenue, but then we decided that they want a lot more features which our platform is capable of. So we wanted to basically just take a step back, just focus on that, and then enhance that platform. And then by doing that, we basically minimize the risk in terms of competition, etc. So that was a strategy that we've taken. And one of our most recent investors is actually a doctor from the US, and he sees huge potential for this even in the US. But of course, not in this current form, but the aspect of storage, etc. That's something which he sees huge.
But the whole IISc ecosystem also to support you. Open for questions. In fact, Devesh has done a Healthtech startup in the US only, so he has good insights on this. So you can stop sharing also, question.
Sure.
Open for questions.
Can you hear me?
Hi, this is Devesh is speaking.
Yeah, Vinay. Let's Vinay go first, Devesh. Yeah.
Okay, Vinay go. Yeah, go ahead.
Kaushik, I want to be modest about it. About 20 years ago, I was with Apollo Hospitals Group, and I was the person responsible for rolling out their entire what I call retail the HIS systems, So I am, and maybe pardon my ignorance, or maybe it is just the lack of the time that you have to present. I don't see anything which is very different that you're presenting from what most other companies are. In fact, once we rolled it out, we realized that it is not something that we can sustain. We could sustain because we were applying it on Apollo. So obviously, Apollo was the biggest buyer. But if you don't have a buyer for this kind of a product, it's a very uphill task to be able to, sell it, especially when there is so much of competition. So how are you, I saw your grid, but how are you really differentiating?
Yeah, so one of the key differentiating, so in fact, thanks, Vinay, that is a very good question. The key differentiation that we have is the fact that our complete pipeline, right from data fetching until the outside customer delivery, number 1 is fully automated. Number 2, we handle the images also. We handle raw DICOM, right? Which only the teleradiology service providers handle, but not the patient-facing guys. So, for instance, your practos of the world, right? Those guys, everybody handles reports and appointments. Reports, appointments, and maybe prescriptions, but that's about it. But whereas for building a good solid base for analytics, what you need is actually the films. You need the films and the reports. Does that answer the question?
No, but right now Apollo has already got this system. I implemented it for them.
Right, but the point here is with respect to the patient, right? With respect to the patient, they basically send, in case of Apollo, they basically send actually SMS link, right?
No. I right now have an app on my phone, which is the Apollo app, which gives me everything that I want.
Do you get the images also?
Yeah, everything.
How many images do you get?
I go for a health check only once in a year, but I get whatever I put there,
Right. So okay, we can offline connect because
sure.
You can check it, question. Good feedback, Vinay.
Yeah.
See, maybe you're missing something on the computer side. Yeah, Devesh, over to you.
Just you are allowed to create your own Apollo login if you want. So you can even go and check on your own.
Sure. I'll do that. Thanks. And Girish, it'd be good if you can actually share Vinay's contact.
We'll connect. Yeah, we'll connect surely. Devesh, your feedback.
No, I think Vinay's hit the nail on the head. I don't want to repeat myself. The grade was self-explanatory, Kaushik. So I think it's a brave thing what you're doing, but there's a lot of competition out there. There are good apps available in India, Apollo included, and even there are standalone operators today like RV Metropolis, or I can go on naming Healthians, where the testing, everything comes on the mobile today. So I think you guys will need to work on.
No, he's talking about images, Devesh. We get reports on our mobile. Do we get MRIs and CT scans on our mobile? He's talking about those images, not reports.
Those are available on servers today, Girish. Even those are possible. You can get it on apps.
Like the Apollo system.
The sizes are pretty huge. Yeah. It's easily about.
But I think Kaushik, there's work to do here because there's a lot of competition on the street. I'll just give you one input on the say. Go and have a look at a company called Arficus. Have you heard of Arficus?
No.
Go and have a look at their website. Arficus, ARFICUS. They're in Chhattisgarh, by the way. Huh?
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, sure. Thanks.
Yeah, just a quick one. How do you, Rahul is a co-founder with you?
Yes. Rahul is my development partner.
Okay. The Upjoy is the development partner.
Yes, that's correct. How do you know him?
Yeah. I know for him for last 9 years through
awesome.
Upjoy. Yeah.
Awesome. We both know each other from 96, where we did master's.
I know from 2016.
Okay. Nice. Awesome.
Thanks everyone. So a lot of health tech inputs and feedback. In fact, I know more. I would have triggered Saeed also, but there's a lot of health tech experience in Team SARTHY. We can connect later for a longer one, Kaushik. Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks. Devesh, just to wrap up that point, Apollo's was not the best app. It was just that we could bulldoze our way through the entire group. It's a terrible app. Even today, I don't think it's a great app, but it has probably got the maximum number of users.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on.
We go to Karthik, Datastride. Karthik, you can share the screen. So next startup is a Cohort 14 startup, Datastride. It's a data analytics startup, especially for sensor data. Over to you, Karthik. You can share the screen. And we are running perfectly on time. So after this, we'll take a short break for folks to do break or whatever. So after this presentation, we'll take a short break. Yeah. Go ahead, Karthik.
Yeah. Thank you, Girish. Hello, everyone. Thank you for this opportunity. So our company is Datastride Analytics and our product is SIA. So SIA is a platform for sensor data analytics. So primarily, me, Divya and Suma are the co-founders. So we have been working in the industry for the past 12 years. So in our data analytics journey, what we experienced was that the entire pipeline is very fragmented, wherein there are lots of different tools for different parts of the pipeline, but there is no single platform where everything can be condensed. By this, what I mean is there are different ETL tools, there are different Python libraries and relevant tools for data modeling analysis. There are different visualization tools. Usually the flow in businesses is that there is a central data analytics team and domain experts are dependent on these teams to help with the data analytics process. So moving forward, businesses are certainly focusing on adopting AI into their regular everyday processes. And the major the major bottleneck for this entire process is the complexity of the tasks involved. So there are multiple tools, as I mentioned, and there are no domain-specific tools. So due to this, the AI adoption lags a lot due to different bottlenecks. So some of the most relevant problems are that developing a simple POC for a data analytics solution takes at least 6 to 8 months of time. The volume of data that is actually utilized is very low, which leads to it is less than 15 to 20%, which leads to poor accuracies of the models and a lot of missed insights. So the training costs and the cost of adaptation of different tools is also very high, especially in large businesses. And the attrition rate among data professionals in businesses is very high when compared to many other different roles. So this leads to a lot of challenges for businesses, and a streamlined solution where all this can be simplified is the need of the hour. So some of our customers are or most of our customers are businesses that generate data through sensors. So some of the domains that we have interacted with and identified use cases are automotive, manufacturing, oil and gas, meteorology, or the weather tech companies. There are energy and utilities and services business, and different R&D departments within businesses and energy sector as well. So the main stakeholders that are involved here are the data professionals, the digitization heads, and the C-suite officers within the business, whose main goals are to kind of enhance their customer experience, improve their business flows, save costs, and boost their own revenues, and kind of develop different data analytics based products as well. So some of the standard everyday procedures that they perform on data are like, for example, data pre-processing, data transformations, data storage and integrations, real-time monitoring of data, different types of predictive and prescriptive, descriptive diagnostics, analytics that happens on data, developing visualizations and automations. So for SIA, with SIA, we are bringing all these into a single platform for sensor data. So we have multiple layers of intelligence with which different business users can perform different parts of their pipeline and automate their own workflow. So SIA basically automates everyday workflows within businesses and helps businesses kind of save time and cost of data analytics. So before, like if we go back in time about 20 years, right, when data was being generated, the initial phase of this entire journey were manual coding and developing the entire solution manually. So after that, there were many no-code platforms. So the future is that all these no-code platforms will also be domain-centric, such as where we are building, and help people, any data professional be able to process data and extract value out of it. So these are some of the snapshots of our tool. So we have a LLM-based chat interface through which users can simply type in their commands, and we process the relevant function and give the users the modified or processed data. So as soon as the data is uploaded, we provide the instant reports and visualizations of the data to help identify different patterns within the data. And also we have connectors with multiple databases through which data can be imported into the tool. So with our tool, like instantly, users can recognize different patterns within the data, anomalies, and we also provide a lot of recommendations and guidance for the user who is not well-versed with the data analytics process. So the total data analytics market size is pretty huge. It's about a $300 billion market. And out of this, there is, again, another industry where people or where businesses help other businesses perform this data analytics. So within that, what we are focusing is the sensor data analytics market, and that in itself is about a $13 billion market. So this is a very niche area because the sensor data is a kind of numerical categorical data, and it's the techniques that are required to process this data is pretty different from any other type of data. So this is the sensor data analytics market is the primary market what we are addressing. So right now, as a part of our GTM, we are we have association with different industry experts who are getting us leads with different businesses. So the primary strategy what we are employing is because in businesses the lead cycle or the sales cycle is pretty long, like around 6 to 9 months or even 1 year in some cases. So what we are targeting are universities where different types of research is going on, and here the tool adoption is happening. And universities and colleges to pitch to businesses, say like in terms of what is the use case and value addition that is being provided. So until now, we are the winners of Elevate 2023, Karnataka Elevate 2023. We have the Microsoft Startup Program Level 4 certification. So with which we have about 125K of cloud credits. So we are also incubated at COE IoT in K-Tech department, and we are also incubated with NVIDIA. where we have the facility to put our market on the NVIDIA workplace and look at kind of sell it within NVIDIA business also. So in terms of customers and market entry, we have paid pilot projects currently ongoing with Randcell, Numentica, Ashok Leland, and ABCR Labs. We have just started an engagement with Bosch as well that just happened last week, and we got the confirmation today. And so in terms of colleges, we have tie-ups with Zigyasaw University, who are leading researchers in the genomics and DNA expression data. So we also have an engagement with VRSCC, that's a college based out of Vijayawada, Andhra Pradesh. And we are exploring mutual collaboration opportunities with Jain and IISc as well. So we are also in engagement with Aether, Pfizer, and Altigreen and L&T Technology Services as well for adoption of the tool within their environment. So some of our competitors are listed here. There are pretty old players or mature players here. Obviously, .ai is a relatively new startup. Alteryx is one of the oldest player, Dataiku and H2O as well. So there are many more new startups as well coming up in this space, where Julius, Humble AI, Ikigai Labs is also not exactly a startup, but they are kind of in the same space. So most of these are based out of the US, and how we differentiate from our competitors is that primarily we are focusing, the primary differentiator is that we are focusing on a specific sector, that is the sensor data analytics, where we are one of the earliest players that is specialized in sensor data.
1 more minute to go. 1 more minute on the clock.
So as founders, we have faced the problems that we are trying to solve, and we have worked on sensor data analytics for more than almost 8 to 9 years. So we understand the problems of our customers from their own perspective, and this is what enables us to build the end solution that is required for the customer. So in terms of the market, this is a very niche market where there are many legacy industries that are still adopting to AI and are not using any platforms. We also provide guidance and enable any end user without any background in data analytics to be able to process data, thus helping helping businesses save the training costs and minimize dependency on specialized data specific teams as well. So our ask is right now we have confirmations of funding, and what we are looking at is industry connects, where we can implement our solution and kind of solidify our product market fit. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Thanks, Karthik. Good job, yeah. In fact, this team is also here, so we are open for questions. Although we've given good input for Karthik already in the Cohort, Mudit, Vinay, yeah, but we're open for questions. Saeed, any questions from you?
Yeah. Hi, Karthik. Great presentation. Very succinct. Was not sure about your USP as well as your competitive edge. You mentioned sensor data, but you never mentioned IoT. I mean, your sector is essentially AI for IoT, and that's what I gathered from the presentation. What is not clear for me is how do you ensure data integrity in your AI agentic solution? You never mentioned that you're using RAG-based data ingestion to ensure data authenticity and security, which is one of the primary requirements of enterprises. And how do you distinguish yourself from basically very easy to use GPTs, which run on GPT 4.0 as well as now GPT-5, which is probably going to be announced very soon. I'm based out of California, and my day job is AI-based enterprise solution.
Okay.
So there are some of these questions. I like the traction, but I don't know if these are generating any MRR today or not. So I'll rest with these questions.
For the last question, we are not generating any revenue as of now. We are expecting our first chunk of revenue by the end of October, that is the quarter three of this financial year. So Divya, you can answer. Can you answer the question on the RAG pipelines?
Yeah, so currently, Said, what we are doing is, so we have a routing agent in between. We have 300 plus functionalities that we have built in the backend. And whatever data is ingested, it goes through the functionalities that we have built backend. So these are functionalities that we have built based on the experience that we hold on sensor data. So that is a routing agent that is in between today, not a rack pipeline yet. On the security aspects, so we understand that big enterprises have a lot of challenges with data interactions, and that's where the cluster that we are going to give in will be in their own cloud. We have our APIs, we have all independent elements that can be plugged onto their environment. It's going to be their storage. It's going to be the complete setup is going to be there in their cloud, and it's basically the clusters that we are going to push it to their cloud.
So the Bosch engagement that is happening, it is in the pipeline that we will install a cluster of our tool onto Bosch's own cloud, wherein the data doesn't have to leave their ecosystem. And the tool, like whatever our technologies are that we have built will be in our cloud, and the interaction will happen. So in that way, both Bosch's data and our technology is also safe.
Yeah, one parting comment is that the sales cycle, you said that is your USP, you're compressing the sales cycle, but we, in my hands-on experience here in the US market, that's a pretty still a long sales cycle, because right now the stage of the AI industry is that you have to undergo a consultative engagement initially in order to actually get to the AI agents. Because create the prompt in itself is a very challenging task these days. But anyway, great presentation. Thank you.
No, in a way, like just to explain the GTM in a more clear way, since the business cycles are long, what we are targeting are these universities and research institutes where the people are more, enthusiastic on onboarding such new tools. This gives us kind of a, initial traction and validation for the tool as well.
Yeah, but what Saeed is saying is Gen AI kind of tools will also give a similar output versus your tool. So how are you far superior than them? Is it proven? Is it to be proven? With even GPT-5 coming in?
Yeah, sir. Here, as I was telling, we have built a lot of functionalities in the backend in terms of automations, recommenders, and specific templates, which ChatGPT will not be able to give. And this is because of the specific challenges that these kind of industries, the kind of data that is generated. So for that, we have targeted and we have come up with these flows. So other than this, Karthik, you would want to add on?
Yeah, we have a comparative study with the kind of answers that ChatGPT gives out versus what we are giving out.
No, you can build a tool on top of ChatGPT or Gemini or any. You can build your own tool internally instead of your solution. That's so you don't use any Gen AI, right? Yeah, businesses can build their own tool using Gen AI to give the output they desire with their data.
So no, the issue here is not building an application, but the process of building an application, which is what we are simplifying. So everyone is today targeting on how the process can be simplified and can be accelerated. So we come in as those core tools using which this complete implementation can be accelerated or simplified. So the application layer, anyone can build. And of course, the domain experts who are working with the data will build those applications. But the process of building application is where the tool comes in.
So one of our customers, Numentica, is based out of the US only. And through them, we have the market knowledge that there are lots of businesses that are still haven't built this. Or building such a tool would in itself create a different business vertical in itself. Right. So that is again a huge cost sink and resource sink and not easy to venture into.
Yeah, Rajesh, you have a point? Yeah.
Yeah, I think hi, this is Rajesh here.
Hi, Rajesh.
I think Diva has mentioned those 300 functionalities which have been built. I think only thing is what Saeed has mentioned in the beginning itself, that you should look into it. There is a disruption happening to the solution what you're building to the AI agentic workflows, because that will give you or your competitor much more flexibility in terms of leveraging various other models, which the customer may be needing it through the AI agents. And that's what I think Said was trying to mention about that.
Correct, Rajesh.
You don't need to answer that. You don't need to answer that. Yeah. Sorry, Divya, but we're short of time.
I'm just sharing with you.
Answer that. Just take the point. Yeah?
Okay, sure.
Thanks. Thanks, Rajesh. Thanks, Karthik. Thanks, Divya. So we are taking a short 5-minute break. I'm sorry, we'll be extending up to 7:45. So we're taking a short 5-minute. I'm pausing recording. The next is Botnomics. Sampath, you can set it up. We'll be starting exactly at 6:35. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so the next startup is Botnomics, which is in workplace automation. It's a workplace automation startup. Over to you, Sampath and Sirisha. You can share about Botnomics.
Sure. A very, I would say heartfelt thanks to Girish and team. Thanks for giving an opportunity. So my company is called Botnomics, and if you see, we use a tagline called "Unleash the power of bots intelligence." With the intelligence of the bot, we'll try to resolve the issues in less than 4 to 5 seconds. Before we go to next slide, if you see right on top corner, we were recognized by Ministry of IT and Electronics last year.
But if you can turn on the video, because we are recording it, so it will go to YouTube. Just turn on the video. Yeah. Thanks, Sampath.
So we were also recognized by the IT Ministry and Electronics Ministry last year for the concept which we created. So now what we are calling it as an organized intelligence for all the end user computers in a workplace automation. And if you so who we are actually a cutting edge workplace automation company. We are based out of India and UK, and we have a copyright from 179 countries, and we have a patent pending from India, and we're also available on Azure marketplace. The real focus of our company is we try to fix the problems in less than 5 seconds, which means we try to fix the problems in real time. And the organized intelligence is actually well thought in our real system and real analytics, which actually helps the health of the system, and also make sure the systems are very minimal loss when there's a productivity loss happen. Within less than 5 seconds, we try to restore it to the normality. So this is my team, which is a very strong team, which we actually have a complete trust on our team. Based on our team, we actually made this very solid product. And Sirisha is an executive officer of our time. I'm the founder and the operations officer, and I carry close to 22 years of industry experience. Worked with different parts of the world and different big companies like Tata's, IBM's, TCS, and Time Warner's and HCL. And if you look at this, the traction of the Botnomics, when I say traction, when we started 2018, the ideation of this Botnomics has been formed in UK, and we took almost 1.5 years to design the architect and make this available for the POC in the market after 2 years. In 2021 to 2023, in the last 2 years, we actually got a copyrights approved, and we also have the a market viable product. We tested with big giants in the market, and we also have some revenue in the last couple of months here. So what is very strong, we have very good copyrights across 179 countries. That's actually very strong for us. And the marketplaces, on the Azure marketplace, we are available and on the Teams marketplace, we are actually almost on the verge of being available there. And awards and recognition, we actually got awards from Aegis for the innovation of the best managed services tool, and a patent pending, and we have a groundbreaking solution which actually, as we are saying, which can identify the problem, fix the problem, or self-fix the problem in less than 5 seconds. And what are we addressing here? If you look at this, 3 important things with every company owner, irrespective of the industry. The first is the customer frustration or the user. I mean, when I say customer user frustration or user morale. And the second thing is they do not have a latest technology which are actually trying to address the problem. And the third one is the business impact. When we say business impact, the productivity impact, and also the cost impact of the CFO. So if you look at the time, when I'm saying time consuming, right, it's like a small issue today, even though you work for Microsoft, Google, or a big organization, when you have a problem, you have to follow the process of raising a ticket and closing a ticket, which is actually consuming a lot of time. This kind of an artificial intelligence tool, or we call it as organized intelligence tool, identifies the problem, fixes the problem in less than 3 seconds, and tries to reduce 85% of the MTTR time. And our solution focuses on those things. The first one is it has an intelligent bot which can actually identify from the log files and tell you this is a problem, and it can auto fix the problem. And the other technology which we're bringing is the cognitive intelligence, where I can just talk to the system and just say, hey, Adu, this is a bot. We just try to fix my firewall problem, or try to fix, registry setting. On the click, simple voice command, it can go in and fix the problem. Our focus is to, disable the entire service desk, which is actually doing the mundane task, and it should be focused by our bots intelligence. And Adu is another, Adu, the bot which is created on Microsoft Teams with the help of Microsoft directly. This bot, the first ever bot in the industry, which will fix the problems from Microsoft Teams. If you look at MS Teams, it's only a place where you can chat with your colleagues or your co-workers. And if you ask a question, there might be a bot which will give you information saying that, okay, this is your 10 steps to follow the process. In the next few slides, you can see the first time ever you will see a bot which can actually do fixes. You can do workflow automation. You can do end-to-end automation on your MS Teams there. Second one, why should one choose Botnomics? Because we have advanced automation. When we say advanced automation, we are trying to bring in the full spectrum of AI and ML automation here. And the next gen capabilities like voice engine can actually give you the taste of a new cognitive intelligence. We not only talk about fixing the resolution, we also talk about the protection of the comprehensive system. And the last one is flexibility. When we say flexibility is our DNA, we do not say this is my product available on the shelf, take it. We will say, tell me what are your problems, and we'll try to fix the problem based on your requirements. And if you look at the market study by Research and Market, they are close to $27 billion opportunity across the globe. Only in India, we have close to $5 billion opportunity. If you look at the CAGR, it's close to 30.4% percentage of a CAGR growth by year by year till next 3-4 years. That's a great market size we are trying to address here. And I just want to take you a quick demos to understand what exactly we try to do here. So there is a product which is actually built which is called Botminds. What Microsoft suggested was do not put Botminds front, and we want Microsoft Teams in front end, and it should actually fix all the problems from from Microsoft Teams. So they have suggested us to create an enterprise bot, not only addressing IT and everything. And this is unlike any bot, it is only giving the information. It has a capability to read data. It's like a mini AI, organized AI tool here. I'll just show you. This is like logging into a tool like any other tool like Amazon or Spotify or Flipkart. Just log in. It'll ask you what kind of help you need. I just say I need help in HR. In HR, what kind of help you're looking for? I say I need to know my leave details. If you look at present any other market tool, it says if you say leave details, it will route you to the place where you find out the leave details. Over here, we are integrating with the DBMS of the leave management system, and it's fetching the data and giving you the information about out of 22 leaves in a year, you've already consumed 5 and 17 are actually pending. So we are integrating with with the LMS tool in the market. The second one, we are also integrating with the SAP Concur expenses. So this is again I would say a transformation for us, because we no need to log into any tool SAP. Everything will happen from Microsoft Teams. For example, if I wanted to raise a cab reimbursement tool or any other tool, I'll just say, for example, I've taken my team for a team lunch. I'll just say click on team outing. It gives me a form. This can be customized based on your requirement. I'll say team lunch and 10,000. So it has a complete workflow automation. It goes to my manager on the fly. He can approve it because he's also available on Teams there. The second thing which I want to show is this is the one which is nowhere in the world which is actually available. You might have seen the adaptive cards which are present in the market. The end result of the adaptive card is actually is the uniqueness of our company. For example, if I wanted to optimize my computer, I'll just click on optimization and say quick optimization, and then I'll say PC run. Till here, you might see in the company. And you see the click of a button, you can see the entire, the solution actually, runs here. That's in few seconds. You can see that, it's running. It's executed, and you can see the system is actually, running. So in 3 to 4 seconds, we are making your system, running from MS Teams here. This is a unique concept we are bringing there. So likewise, we have, we can integrate with ERP solution. We can integrate, the CRM, ERP, multiple solutions in the market there. So I'm also trying to, integrate with ServiceNow, because there's a requirement from the, team where, we want to do end-to-end ticket management from here. So everything from, Microsoft Teams. So end of the day, they wanted MS Teams as the one platform for everything there. So from Teams, you can do ERP integration. If you wanted to create a vandalism happening in the mobility company, how do we create a process and ensure the things are happening very smooth? So that is how we are trying to create a end-to-end process on Microsoft.
We have
Teams.
1 more minute to go. One more minute on the clock.
Tool. Yeah. Cool, thank you. And if you look at it, our go-to-market strategy, we are actually aligned with multiple channel partners across India, US, and UK, and Canada. And our focus is initially we started with targeting all large enterprises and big enterprises. We wasted our time, and afterwards we realized, working with Girish and team that SMEs and SMBs are actually good focus. We are focusing on them, and the technical advances also we are trying to go with the market. And revenue growth, what we are seeing is from the SMBs and SMEs also. And if you look at it, we have done a lot of customer POCs, and we have got a very good concepts, and POCs are done in different parts of the world, like Netherlands, US, South Africa, Dubai. So we've got a very, very positive concept, and now we see the pipeline is actually getting converted to a revenue now. And the strategic partnership with all the channel partners actually bringing us a lot of business pipelines to us. And we also wanted to give you the comparison between multiple tools in the market. We are the two or three market tools which are there, which are similar to our tool, which is like 30 to 35%. However, we are little ahead of them by using the cognitive intelligence, using the integrations what we have, using the the voice integrations, or the proactiveness what we have here. And we also have an existing investment from the US-based company, which is from Delaware, which is $50,000, and which we got it, and they're also helping us to get the customers onboarded in US. And my investment, the request which I have is, for $500,000. This is to ensure the next 3 years, because the suggestion from everyone is now this product is developed on Windows. It should go on Mac, and the focus should not be on India, but apart from India, the rest of the world. That's where you have a huge margin and opportunity to actually get the market done. So that's when my complete investment, how do I spend this investment, is also written here in next 3 years or 4 years. And what apart from this, this one, we're also trying to bring in all the latest technology. In next few quarters, we wanted to bring an entire project as low code, no code. And from the mobile, we are trying to fix the problems of your from your laptop. That's another one. And using the cognitive intelligence of the MS Teams, we are able to talk using the languages across any word in the world, and you can try to solve the problem. That's the vision which we have. And yeah, we also trying to say how is my company evaluated because of the leadership team which we have. We have an IP. Because of that, we are getting a lot of traction in the market. The proven success from POC customers. We also recognized by AGs and other business partners in the market. Global partnership happened with Netherlands customers and US customers. And we also had a path-breaking financial investment from the US-based company. So yeah, that's the very fast.
Thanks, Sampath. That was fast, yeah. I still have a regret that CrowdStrike was not able to be repaired by Botnomics. So plan for the next CrowdStrike being repaired by you, and you are as big as you can imagine. Yeah, we're open for questions.
Yes, thank you.
A lot of folks with experience, from Saeed to Rajesh, open for questions. You can stop sharing also, Sampath.
Yeah.
So this is Saeed.
Nice.
This is a very crowded market, and that to me is your challenge number one. Challenge number two, technology-wise, in the PC domain, you know how PCs basically have a snapshot and they have a backup. Yes. So you repair and you fix everything, and I go to my last saved backup, and all the problems surface again. And that is a reality also, the way the PC architecture is. So I mean, there are challenges here. I like the fact that you work with Concur. That's a big challenge. So doing anything and everything to streamline and make the whole, expense management very easy to do is a low-hanging fruit in the enterprise market. That's good. I mean, there are like actually billboards in the US basically throwing dirt at Concur because Concur is one of the most unuser-friendly interfaces and all of that.
Exactly.
So from that point of view, it makes sense. From the sysadmin and IT implementation is challenging because there are some patches which cannot be installed because if they are installed, then that's going to change the entire cluster and all of that. So So on the security side, there are issues if there enterprise-wide security is applied and the bot goes in and messes with that and all that. So I think your strategy should be to go in and try to tackle. I like the Concur approach, so that's a good one. The HR stuff is good, but then the challenges are from very big companies like Workday and Monday and all of that. So the sector is very congested. Very, very big players are already in this market. In the US, Zen and Zoho are common names as well. So that's what I see. So I don't understand the uniqueness, and I don't
differentiation is
understand
what you're not able to understand. Okay.
Yeah,
The
and
uniqueness of the
then
difference.
yeah, that's it. I mean, be quiet.
Thanks, Syed. Thanks for the feedback. The uniqueness, what we're trying to bring is, Syed, as you told, a desktop has the repair and, restore option, which is very common. But, if you have a problem on your desktop, you have to call the IT and spend 8 to 9 hours of time as an MTTR time to fix the problem. Today's world, Gen Z world does not have so much of time to wait. They just want it on the fingertips. And people are moving to, to take a call and fix the problem to self-fixing the problem. So these two and under cognitive intelligence also, where you can just say something and will fix the problem. These three are my uniqueness of this. When I say instead of spending 4 to 5 hours for fixing the problem, we'll try to reduce it in less than 5 seconds. The second one is cognitive intelligence can understand. It has an AI built, so it can understand the language what you're saying, and it has a capability to fix the problem. That's the second one. The third one is actually the amalgamation of everything what we just spoke at. It has a capability to talk to multiple tools across. So instead of, for example, you have a service management, you have hardware request management, so many things. On a fraction of seconds, we are integrating and we are trying to give you that on your fingertips here. That's what we're trying to do here. So end of the day, the USP of our product is how do I reduce the cost of the ticket which is happening in US, and every ticket is $16 to $18 minimum, and going out it's going to be $30, $45. How do I reduce that? Second one is the dissatisfaction of employee, which is actually increasing by 10x fold as per the new study. How do I decrease that? The third one is how do I save?
The question is about competition. The competition is already doing it faster, cheaper, better. So do check that. What Saeed is mentioning, there's already it's a crowded space. Maybe you may find a niche, but that's not visible from the features you are telling us, Sampath.
Okay.
So do check it out. Sure. Any other last question, anyone?
Yeah, just I had one question. This is because see, we are working with a lot of clients. If this is a product is extension of the existing products like the ERP or financial systems and many other things, it works out better than just a standalone product, somebody to go and implement. It will be very challenging. Actually, people don't want so many things coming. Can it not be extension of a existing product, a large basis?
No, that's what we're doing. We are not creating anything.
So sell it to OEMs. He's saying sell it to OEMs instead of customers. Sell to Microsoft, sell to the OEMs.
SAP or
SAP, yeah.
So if you look at the first statement, which is we are working with Microsoft directly because they were handholding us already to, if you see the product, what we designed, it is a suggestion and ideas given by, when we started this, it is given handled by Microsoft for us. So yes, we are working with them. We already have an email confirmation with them saying that, we will align with your business group.
Oh. So can they sell for you? Will they agree to sell?
Crossing fingers.
Okay, fine. Okay, good. So that's a good entry point straight away, and suddenly it becomes a big opportunity for everyone. Okay. Yeah. So good, yeah. Thanks, Team Botnomics. So for a change, next we have Zigyasaw toys, educational toys. So it's different from all the tech startups we see now. Over to you, Manish. It's an invitee startup. Yeah, over to you, Manish.
Thank you. Are you able to see and hear me?
Yes, Manish.
Can you see my screen too?
Yes.
All right. Namaste. My name is Manish Joshi, and I'm the founder of Zigyasaw Creations Private Limited, Pune. I'm 50 years old, 50 not out. Do you remember the kind of games that we used to play in childhood? Playing cards, Uno, Snakes and Ladder, Top, Ligori, Carom, Kho-Kho, Kabaddi, etc. And if you recall, some of these games were indoors and outdoors. I have also grown up playing all these games. we used to play these games, both indoor and outdoors. And if you recall, for all these games, we required a friend or a buddy, right? And it required team coordination, teamwork, calculation, aiming, calm temperament, patience, etc. Right? Now, the different games that I mentioned, today's kids do not play to some extent. And the reason, one big reason for that is digital gadgets. Now, in this today's increasingly digital world, everyone has the space for digital gadgets. But due to the overexposure of digital screens, big or small, that is impacting the children, especially the young children, and it is creating issues like impacting their creativity, hand-eye coordination, curiosity, cognitive ability, patience, skill deficiency, etc. Now, reducing the usage of these digital gadgets is not the only solution. We'll have to give them some options too. To diagnose this, we did a lot of research, understood the different curriculum in the West world and different boards of India. We researched all different skill sets and the result is the creation of Zigyasaw Creations Private Limited. Jigsaw or Zigyasa ka milap hai Zigyasaw. Jigsaw is very close to my heart because, my entire family has grown up playing jigsaw puzzles. And it has not only made us calmer, patience has improved, the side effect is general knowledge. And all our products, puzzles, flashcards, and educational games, they are developed after a lot of research. Each of our product develops children's creativity, curiosity, skill development, knowledge, teamwork, attention span, patience, as well as flexible thinking, and also it develops love for learning. All these skill sets are very important for every child. And the sooner they can learn this, the more it will help them in their growing age. We have close to 100,000 customers worldwide, majorly in India and US. Our products have created their unique and special identity because of our world-class unique designs and the content that we have. In India, we have also seen that there is limited exposure for the regional content. For a diverse country of our size, there are not many games that can be explained in Hindi, that can be explained in Marathi, Telugu, Kannada, or such regional languages. We are also trying to focus on that. And the skills that I mentioned, extremely important for any child. Why just not child? For everyone for that matter. And and one more thing, in today's increasingly digital world, सिर्फ डिवाइसेस ही क्यों स्मार्ट हो, हमारा ये वादा है कि जिज्ञासा के साथ खेलेगा तो स्मार्ट तो बनेगा ही, पर अपनी अलग पहचान बनाएगा इंडिया। धन्यवाद। और ये है कुछ interesting information about target audience. We are targeting parents who seek opportunities for their children to play and learn, parents of children, and lately we are also seeing a lot of queries from corporate for team building activities. Also in schools, they want to use our products as educational aids where the internet is not there, or for young age, really you can't really teach them on the phones. You have to have physical games which can help them engage and learn something. This is our story. Me and my wife, we were in California for about 17 years. I was an IT engineer, having worked in Fortune 500 companies like CA Technologies, Oracle, Sun Microsystems, and having looked at the impact of activity-based learning on my children. When we came back to India, we thought, this is where we can make a difference. And the name is a witty combination of Zigyasaw and Jigsaw, like I mentioned. We wanted to name the company as Curiosity.com, CURIOCITY, or QURIOCITY. But both the domains were taken away. So we thought, why not create something that has Indianness to it, and we will create a global brand out of it. So there you go. That's how Zigyasaw was born. And this is the size of the market. Indian market of educational toys and games is growing by leaps and bounds. Now this total TAM is about $3 billion as we speak. The slide is a little bit old. And we have also tested our products in abroad market, specifically in the US. We have received some orders in Canada and Mexico too from Amazon.com. And we have done limited UAT in places like UAE, and our ask is really about 2 crore rupees for 10% equity in the company. And we just do not require funding. We'll also, require a lot of mentoring and guidance and how to crack different channels in this increasingly digital world, and to expand our team of, creative artists, so that we can continue to maintain our edge, which is, building world-class product, innovative products. That's what Zigyasaw is all about. Thank you.
Traction slide, Manish?
I don't have traction slide here, but I'll tell you what traction we have got. So far till date, we have close to 100,000 customers. Out of that, about 75,000 customers are in India, and about 20,000 customers are in the US, and 5,000, from other marketplaces. And so far we have also
MRR turnover.
Yeah. So far we have also sold products worth Indian rupees 5.5 CR total. And as we speak, we are also entering into offline distribution in India. For last 12 plus months or so, we have also identified our national distributor in India, and 6 cities in India are responding well to our products. Cities like Bangalore, Hyderabad, Mumbai, Pune, and Delhi. And slowly, we are also trying to get into tier 2 and tier 3 cities. We're also getting a lot of queries from, schools on how they can include our products in their curriculum. And I'm very happy to share the NEP, the new education policy that is being implemented as we speak by Government of India, that has heavy emphasis on the kind of products that we are already producing, especially educational puzzles and flashcards. So our aim is to really make education a lot more fun and learn. That's all.
Fine, Manish. Yeah, we're open for questions for Manish.
Yeah.
You can stop sharing, Manish.
And there were like, I have all of my clients.
A very quick point for you guys. About 10 years ago, I had helped promote a company called Butterfly EduFields. My recommendation is please look it up. You seem to be doing almost exactly the same thing that they are doing, but at scale. They're at a much larger scale than you are.
Yes.
So you're aware of Butterfly EduFields?
Yes, of course.
Okay. So the owner is also from IIM Ahmedabad, and he's my junior and a dear friend of mine. My suggestion would be that if you can collaborate with him, it'll be an easier path for you to grow.
Okay.
Rather than become a separate company. If you know the owner, that's fine. If you don't, then I'll be happy to do the introduction.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah. In fact, their first funding of 5 crores was facilitated by me.
Oh wow, awesome.
Yeah, that's about, it's almost like 15 years back now.
Yes.
Yeah.
How big are they now?
So we got them funded through a social impact fund. That was 5 crores. So they came and did the due diligence in my office, which is when we promoted Butterfly EduFields. But I think subsequent to that, they've got multiple rounds of funding.
But they have what, 100 crore top line or maybe smaller?
Yeah, very likely in that scale. Very likely in that scale. They have a factory. They have a full-blown factory set up, which is probably about 10,000 square feet factory.
And same
yes, I'm aware.
same products like them. Okay, same TG, same products like Zigyasaw. Okay.
And more.
Not exactly same, but similar.
Okay.
No, same and more.
Yes,
Okay.
that's correct.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah, Butterfly EduFields is a very big company.
Okay, great.
So I'll introduce you offline to them, and I think you should collaborate.
Yes. Thanks a lot.
Okay.
Okay, we're open for questions. Any other questions, anyone?
Yeah, hi, Manish. Just curious, for the 100,000 customer that you mentioned, what was the distribution channel? Like what worked?
Yeah, so until almost a year back, almost 90% of that was from Amazon India and Amazon US. But lately having challenges with Amazon, their algorithm keep changing. So many competitors keep coming. As soon as my products on bestsellers, the competitor try to copy and all that.
Yeah.
So having experienced Amazon the hard way, we realized that we cannot really depend on Amazon, for our survival or our growth. And then we have been attending a lot of exhibitions in all different regions of India, like Delhi, Gurgaon, Hyderabad, Bangalore, Chennai, and then identified, good offline distributors. And, distributors means you have to have credit period, trustworthiness, those kind of things. We're glad to share that,
No, it's got the idea. I mean, you said
Yes.
Amazon, that was definitely eats your commission. I hope it has a good margin when you make those products. The second was curious, is it a combination of a software and this physical toy, or is it just the...
Right now, it's almost 97% all physical toys and games. Now we are trying to come up with an app where that will be extension of our games. For example, we have a world map. You put 54 pieces to create a world map puzzle, and then there is a limited number of information you can put it in a physical map. What if someone wants to know more about it? Then you take implement the technology to get that into app, or augmented reality, or AI and all that, and then you can make it more interactive.
Okay. One last one, just a connection. I came across this Emma Creations is one of the, I think, software engineer from Wipro who have been running this in Bangalore. Also part of, I think, I am Bangalore incubation and SR cell. Physical products pretty much goes, and I think the only distribution channel that she has is all festival, any season. She would put up a stall, actually teach them how to do it. But only learning I had is growth was not that easy. Really convincing the parents to the kids, getting their attention. Yes, this is going to solve. But I'm happy to introduce that lady who has been doing it for last 8 to 10 years.
Please do. Very grateful for that.
Okay. Thanks, Rajesh, and thanks, Manish. Yeah, we'll go to the next presentation for the day, which is EasyHeals. Over to you, Biswajit. You can share your screen. EasyHeals, Biswajit.
Hi, give me a second. I'll share my screen.
Yeah. So it's a health tech platform, EasyHeals.
My screen is visible, right?
Yes.
Good evening, all. So I'll be talking about EasyHeals, a platform to access healthcare anytime, anywhere. So what we are trying to solve. So in time of any kind of medical need or medical issues or hospitalization or any kind of problem, how we find that who is the right service provider? We normally try to Google that, information for that information, or try to call our family, friends, and try to get the information. But most of the time, we get this information are not fully qualified. And if we have to have the information about the hospitals, doctors, their services, what are the features, and their prices, and etc., then probably we do not have any such tool unless we go and physically visit each and every place or each and every doctor, talk to billing system or the doctor or whoever, and get the information. And at the same time, that is still possible if it is the same locality, but if you have to connect with the multiple different locations and etc., that becomes challenging. And our Indian mentality or middle class mentality, we always like to compare, and there is no tool available for the comparison. And also there is no tool to have a comprehensive support system that, having the digital access and, having the data and physical access, coordination in the hospital, and nothing like that. So that is also the part is missing right now. What we are trying to create, we are trying to create a smart ecosystem, and is a AI-powered ecosystem to search the different service providers. It can be hospital, it can be doctor, it can be for any kind of surgery, it can be alternate medicine, it can be anything. Okay, and which it will give a smart search, and also it will have a predictive diagnosis based hospital and the doctor search. That is also we are having. And also it will have the medical history based predictive alert, and also it will give the complete information, the comparison of the information of the different features and different in the hospital, doctor or anything. And also it will that also include the pricing. It also supported with the teleconsultation, the doctor buddy. It is a smart means AI plus human kind of family doctor. And so overall, what we are trying to achieve is an aggregation of the healthcare service provider in a smart way in one particular platform, which can be accessed through mobile application, web application, phone call, WhatsApp, or anything. And it will give you a complete, that from starting from searching to access to the hospitals, that hospital service provider, and also the support during the hospitalization and in your patient journey. This is a quick screenshot of some of our features. Means here it is based on search, and this it can be based on different symptoms. It will show what all the places it can be available, from what all the services and etc. These features are also getting developed and evolved over a period of time. And also it is talking about with that particular symptoms, what are the different tests and etc. Whatever the pricing, where it can be served, who are the doctors, and you can do the slot booking, and you can go to the hospital and take the service, or you can have an online consultation and take the services. And also that it will have the medical history, and we are working on the medical history based alert and etc. So this is what the on a high level the functionality works. So this means you can search through web, mobile, telephone, WhatsApp. It can be clinics. That is the another part what we are working, that we are having some localized clinic which will be tagged as a kind of nodal center for the EasyHeals. And also that we are having the automated diagnosis of the systems and problems, and it will be helped and connected through web, mobile, teleconsultation, etc. You can compare the pricing, you can compare the different options, and why EasyHeals? You will get the priority service in the hospitals, doctors, you will get a patient buddy, you will get the discount and offer, you will have the history and reminders, and also that different support. So this is the platform, how it works. If a patient comes to our application and website, it can do the discovery of the nodal point, or it can be any of the service clinic. It will go to, sorry, this is coming, I believe. Oh, sorry. So it will have the different medical record which can be shared with the different hospitals or doctors. Doctors can see the history and take an informed decision based on the things. And also it is a cyclic process. And if it is needs to be referred to some outstation hospital and etc. So this also can be done. It will be done. So we have done a very recent experiment in the eastern part of the India. Even though we have started and initiated in Pune, Maharashtra, but we just started in eastern, and we have seen a huge crowd is there for the eastern part of the India to the southern part of the India. So we are actually working on that particular solution. Again, that is a digital solution, can be achieved through us. So this is about us, myself, Vishwajit, and I'm having two more co-founders, Sharbari and Raman. We all three are ex-Infosys, and I have handled many of the largest implementation in the world on the healthcare insurance and also on the banking part. I had started a COVID care center in Pune, Hinjewadi, and also I'm having a successful exit from a food chain startup, and having a certificate from the entrepreneurship from the London Business School. Sharbari is ex insurance, and then joined Infosys as a domain consultant. And when Raman left Infosys, he was the lead solution architect for any new business Infosys used to pitch in. And we are mentored by Vivek, who was assigned by IIT Mandi, where we are incubated. And we are also incubated in IIM Lucknow and a couple of more places like Majumdar Shah, Deshpande, and others. And recently we have partnered with the MIT University in Pune for implementation of the AI. So this is the market. Market is huge. The projected revenue for the Indian hospitals, the private hospitalization by 2027 is given as 116 billion. And this is the market share, and so there will be untapped opportunities on the medical tourism and the data monetization, which can be eventually part of the system in the things. So right now, the revenue what we are generating through the marketplace commission and lead subscription, and we are working on the another revenue models on the medical tourism, which can be in local and international, means from the Bangladesh and other places to India, and probably the eastern part of to the southern India. And also we are working on the membership for the corporate and the specialized services. As I said, we are based out of Pune. We started in Pune, but we just started evolving in the southern and the eastern India, and we see a huge potential, probably much more than that what we had in the Pune. So probably we are thinking right now that why we not started earlier. So that was the kind of thought process is coming up. And we are seeing a very good projection for next 1 year. We are thinking of having at least 10 to 12x by 1 year from what we are having right now. This is a competitive analysis, and this, honestly speaking, there is no as such who is having exactly the same, but there are multiple multiple companies having a couple of features. But see, if you see that Practo, Medibuddy, or HexaHealth, or someone like that, they are probably solving some of the places what we are working upon. But as a overall ecosystem, and is a digital ecosystem, probably no one is actually working on. So this is some of the key hospital tie-up, mostly in Pune right now, and now in couple of months' time we'll have more in the Kolkata and southern India. The recent one is that that Manipal, we have signed that all India deal with the Manipal for all the hospitals. We are connecting with the Apollos and all. So, and definitely we are looking for the tertiary care and the corporate hospitals, which are the large, and with them we can be connected with. So we are seeking for two year, which will be used for the 12 to 18 months. It will be used for the two places mostly. It is on the market expansion, that creating the ecosystem.
One more minute on that.
Yeah,
one more minute
ecosystem. Yeah, sure. Ecosystem in the eastern and the southern India. And also that there are multiple AI parts has to be implemented, which we have started working on. So we have to implement, spend some of the money on that particular thing. So that's it from my side. So any more questions I can.
Yeah, MRR is 8 lakhs as on date.
Sorry.
MRR is 8 lakhs.
Yes, 8 to 10 lakhs right now.
So it's what is the source? Is it once you pass a lead, you get some commission, or is
it? Yes.
You don't get any subscription from these hospitals?
Subscription, we do not take subscription from the hospitals. What we are looking for the subscription will be looking from the people and the corporate. That we are working on. Couple of corporate we are already discussing, and we are giving a package service for the specialized service for their patients.
So this 8 lakh is your revenue, or is it your GMV?
It's a GMV.
It's GMV, MRR. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we're open for questions, everyone.
Biswajit, what does iHub offer you?
iHub, I'm not part of iHub.
I thought you said you are mentored by IIT Mandi. That's Somjit's team, right?
Yeah, IIT Mandi, but I don't think it's iHub. It's different. IIT Mandi Catalyst it is. iHub is different.
Okay, so you're part of Somjit's team.
Yes.
What do they offer you?
So they have given us a seed investment of 25 lakhs through SISF. And also they have done the mentoring and all. And also they are helping us to connecting to different investors and others.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Any questions? Devesh, Saeed, Healthtech?
Just an observation, Girish, just an observation from me. I like the fact that even without a single physician on the advisory board, they have traction in the industry. So this basically speaks a lot about the credibility of the core team. So that's a positive. My main concern is regulatory and all of that, because medical industry is very much regulated. And then the scale part is very much dependent on signing up with big brands. If you don't sign up with big brands, then you'll be struggling. So the scale part is not clear to me. Like, how do you become a unicorn here? So
okay,
that's it.
So first of all, thank you. I understand that we do not have the medicos, but this is the technology solution for the problems. Okay, and we are the expert of the technologies, and we have handled many of the means in US healthcare. Like I have worked very closely with WellPoint and all. Okay, so I know that how the system is, and our strength is that creating the solutions. And now, yes, we are not having the Medico in the team, but yes, we are taking support of the different systems from the different places, and that really helps. And if you see, we are also incubated in the IIHMR, that gives us the flavor from the healthcare. And on the second part that, on the regulatory, yes, we all understand, especially from the similar thing which can in India, which are the government of India are working on. And I believe that we are having a technology solution on the how the HIPAA can be controlled, how the data can be masked, and how data can be controlled, and these things. World is matured enough to have the different implementations, and we are already having that system in place.
Could you handle patient data?
Yes, so there will be the data on the history and all, and those are the things are there in our system, which will be referred from the if I'm a patient, if I am to show it to some of the doctor and all, we can allow the doctor to see my data, and based on that, doctor can give some of the prescription which can give, it will be seen only to me, not to other people. And also the data are masked in the database so that no one else can hack and do that thing. Those are the practices. And yes, there will be more data security and all has to be implemented in future, but that is not the primary, but it can be done. And on the scalability part, see, it is a digital platform on the aggregation. Okay. And it is for the people, it's more and more people are coming to, this particular platform, and it will be more and more use. Okay. Means, it is basically how we are having the information and interacting with these things. So that's why that, that quick, market access, we are moving towards the corporates. We see in the, large cities, the corporates are having the maximum chunk of our target audience. At the same time, we see, as I said, that, recently we have done some experiments in Bangladesh and that, the eastern part of the India and all. And we see that there are huge requirement for the people who are looking for the access to the right hospital and right, service provider, especially in Kolkata or larger cities in the south, means Chennai, Bangalore, and
we can pause here. Yeah, fine. Thanks. Devish, last point, last comment or question? Devish?
Yeah, Biswajit, there are other platforms I've seen on other investing platforms. So I saw your competition slide, but the startups that I have seen on IPV that don't even feature on your slide. So I would recommend you go and have a look at some of those startups which have sought investments in the past. Coming from a healthcare background, I'll tell you from India, it's a broken system today. There's no question about it, it is broken. But I found that Band-Aid solutions, believe it or not, may be a smaller step rather than trying to go for this hop, step and jump big ecosystem solution. So I would urge you to look at smaller steps rather than trying to attend the whole, because the doctors they don't like commoditization, they don't like aggregation. Trust me.
Right. Your point is absolutely valid, Devesh. Means I understand it's a very difficult system for the doctors and hospitals, and there are a lot of hesitance to get into digitization. But one good thing happened right now because of some of the large players, like even though Pristine, even though Practo and other people. So those mindset, and even that probably post COVID, these mindsets are changing. But yes, it is going to be a long journey. It cannot be done in a year or two. It has to be a long journey. And
so
we are working
the
on
Band-Aid
the 2
solution
steps.
instead of trying to solve everything. He suggested a very important point. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Mr. Yeah, we'll go to the next startup. Last 2 to go. Thanks, team, for this long extended marathon session of pitches. We'll go to Ozonemotors, and after that, we have the last one. Over to you, Ajesh. Again, it's an EV startup.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Girish. I think everyone should be able to see my screen.
Yeah, we can see it, Ajesh.
Yeah. So quickly, Ozonemotors was started in 2016, but 2019 is when we came out with starting to build a car. In the first 3 years, we were the early people to actually retrofit a Maruti 800 and drive it for about 100 kilometers to IIT and showcase the car. And based on our it has scrutiny and everything, IIT Madras took us into the incubation program. And while going through that, we try to figure out whether we should be doing the entire retrofitment. And then we realized that except for the car, everything else is going to be new, and retrofitment was not going to give us, because the pricing and everything factoring in would not work. So we looked at, me and my founder, Deepak, we looked at options. He was the first who did it. And we said, let us start building a car. So we looked about the world, and we saw you had the Teslas and Lucids and a couple of others from BYD in China. So we said, let's take the hardware part from the best place, which is China, and let's take the software side of Tesla and try to take an architecture that needs to be modular, scalable, and from both. And let's build a company from there. And that's how we came up with the entire thing. So this was the entire architecture that went on into our head when we started looking at it. So we want to see the 5 elements of life. The whole thing of sustainability was there, and that's the whole point of the EV itself. But other than that, other than the factor of oil itself, try to save money out of it. So we said how we could do this. Let's try to target each and everything of the 5 elements. And luckily, we got a breakthrough. We did it. So today we have built an affordable small car, a small architecture that's smart, affordable, intelligent, and it's scalable. It can be even converted to an autonomous as well. So we have looked at the interior, exterior, the technical, as well as the physical vehicle. So and the production cycle itself. So now the production can be done in a 60,000 square feet to 1 lakh square feet. We can in a 55,000 shop floor. It's a hub and spoke architecture. That means I will have a central plant to make the machine, and then you have the other places to assemble. We use about 12 kgs of PET in the interior. So these are all recycled PET. The same way we use hemp and a couple of other materials for making the interiors as well as the seats. 10x cleaner, basically we save a lot of water. Basically 80% of the water which is used by the auto industry is saved by us by a smaller concentrated manufacturing facility using the latest devices and machineries, especially Industry 4.0 machineries. And the paint is one of the biggest problem, and the oil that the car uses. These are environmental issues across the globe because they go directly into the earth. Because right now the mechanical agencies or dealerships don't have a mechanism to actually take it out and throw it. So normally they just put it in the gutter or places like that. It's not only in India, across the world, it's pretty much similar. CapEx wise, it's smaller. The platform is smaller. And we save about 6.36 tons of CO2 per vehicle in 5 years. So coming to the architecture, this is how it is. It's simple. It's a drivable modular architecture, like how you say, it's a skateboard architecture, what's called in this industry. So it's a bi-modular. That means I can have a motor fitted in the front, or I can have a motor fitted in the back. I can have 4 motors in 4 of the wheels. If you see, the battery pack is again modular. I can go from 120, 240, or 360 kilometers. This was done 2-3 reasons. Is the price. We looked in the overall market and we said we wanted to look at the taxi segment, although our car is made for a budget family car. So 4-door, 4-seater. So we said they drive about 100 kilometers, 110 kilometers a day in the India market. So we said, okay, at 120 to 150 is the optimum size of the battery, which will make also the car affordable. The smartness, we are the maker of software development. So we said, let us do that part very good. So we built our own VCUs. our own control units, our own battery control unit, thermal control unit for the batteries, motor control unit. So all of these work as a cluster to our VCU. So if tomorrow, if I have to change the motor and the motor control unit, it's easier. I don't have to redo the architecture. It's just an API integration, the same way as the battery. So we have tried to keep it as modular. It can go from a 2-meter platform to about 5 meters. Like on the right-hand side, you see we have, latestly, we have made the first smart commercial buggy, a cargo buggy, and then a cargo van for Ecom Express and a couple of factories across. That's how the modular architecture is. These are basic data again across the globe. I think these data every day keep changing and increasing. If I look at the three-wheeler markets, about 543,000 and 41,000 is already converted to EV. So we see a big TCO opportunity in there, even if I'm able to take about 10 to 15% of the market. Luckily, the four-wheeler market space is not there. That is, again, a bigger space, which is basically in India is the light motor vehicle segment. So these are the three segments we have tried to capture. It's a 43.3 billion. The reason we are also looking at the buggies and things is because in India, trying to manufacture a car, basically you're going against the big guys, and the funding and everything comes in a little delayed, since OEM is still not a great space that people are looking at. So we said that, hey, I don't need to go to ARA approvals. I don't need any approvals. And that's the space where it is. The approvals are much faster or easier. And buggies, I can just start making and selling. So this is our evolution. 2 platforms, totally 6 iterations, 14 months design to development, prototype, working prototype, 20,000 kilometers tested, fastest in the world. And smartness, pretty much similar as most of the cars if you see in the US. And the first platform on the right-hand side, you see the car is actually made and built. So we have a naked body, which is used in off-roading. You have the red color vehicle, which is basically a car that is already, we have a good interest book, about 10,000 plus. Everyone who's seen it want to buy it. Stellantis US has come and visited as CEO. Toyota CEO has come and visited our plant and seen our product. And so they like it. Recently, just about a year back, we started with the entire thing of how to optimize the product and use it for, while the other vehicle has to go for ARI and there is a timeline for it, we said, let us go to market can be faster so that we start tracking some revenue and also some viability of the product and the architecture. So down you see is the platform that was created. This is done in about eight months completely. So it's a scalable architecture that can be converted into an 8-seater or 15-seater and then a cargo as well. So our USP and advantage, it's a micro car. Pretty much the platform is one. I can have about 28 designs we have. I can put about 20, 25 designs. We can put an executive shuttle. We can put an 8-seater shuttle, basically a small bus kind of a thing, micro bus or a mini bus. A single platform, which is 80% scaled across all the platforms. Most of the parts are reusable and scalable as well. And for the battery, what we have done is the 120, 240, and 360, you can pick up which you want, and it's also upgradable later. So you don't have to get stuck. You have 2 swappable battery base options. So you can put 2 swappable battery in case you just need for the off the road, off the go. So we have used the same architecture as a 48 volt, like how the 3-wheelers are working, so that you use the same infrastructure for swappable that is already available. So not to recreate a different category. Goes about 90 kilometer speed. Solar roof for most of these products, so that you get about 10 to 15% of charge every day, which basically adds up to about 3,000 to 5,000 kilometers a year of free charge. Lean manufacturing, smaller setup, smaller infra, everything as I mentioned, and then OS, as I said. So both of these are also vetted by Daimler. We are also incubated by Daimler in 2022 to 23. So while everyone was talking about whether lean manufacturing will work, so we showed our presentation to Daimler. I come from an automotive background, 25 years, and built race cars, and also had my own racing team. So we know it's possible. So we did it, and Daimler vetted it for about 9 months, and they worked with us on the BOM and all. And they are now looking at how they can also implement some of this in there. And thankfully, about 4 months or 6 months back, Elon Musk has said that instead of a gigafactory, he wants to come a micro factory. So now a lot more interest is taking up in this space. And this is frugal because the cost is less. And
One more
you
minute
can
to
make
go.
more wider range of products instead of getting stuck with one simple model or things. This is something we made for the cops, which is a two-seater, high-speed system, fully integrated, fully network car. It can connect to central command center or things. So these are some use cases we are working on. So our car is fully connected. You name it and you have it, and more things can be added. But we have added what is frugal, cost-effective, as well as easily deployable and givable. So we have looked at a couple of things: is preventive and proactive information, insightful information, driver monitoring, driver support system. Basically, if you're a early driver and you don't know, the car will tell you how you're driving every day and how to improve yourself, and then you can have a rating. This was because we are working for the cab and taxi operators as the first go-to-market. So we said all these kind of informations would help in that. These are the different markets. The first one, we already have a third-party vendor who's ready to take it, India's number 3 buggy operator. So that's about a 3 million contract in 3 years. 300 vehicles have to be delivered. And plus, we can make our own and also sell. The rest is basically use case interests we have. So the fundraise will also help us try to set up some of these facilities to be done. So we are looking at right now, most of our concentration is on the in-campus drive, like hotels, farms, hospitals, and others. So whatever vehicles can go there without registrations is where. And this market size, what we have put is based on that, on the use cases and interest that has been generated in the last 2 years. So this is what will be 25, 27. Basically, Alice will probably get into production and live in case we raise the funds and everything happens, and ARA approval, which takes about 9 months. And then the shuttle, we are working with Metro Rail. That order, particularly what comes is for Metro Rail last mile, which is from a metro station to about 2 kilometers to 3 kilometers of passenger commute from the Metro Rail system, which is in India. That's a 3 years projection, what we have put. We can take this in the discussion more. So this is us, Deepak and me. Deepak comes from electronic and mechanical engineering. So he's been in this since 2016. I came in 2019-20 and actively started working from 2022 once we had the prototype done. I've already tried to launch a car called Before in India in 2011. I had multiple dealerships, including Mitsubishi, Volvo, Premier, and a couple of other dealerships. We have sold some of the high-end cars and luxury cars also in India.
Fundraise quickly. What are you looking for funding?
Yeah. So this is what we are looking at, about 10 crores, 1.2 million, 12 to 18 months. This will help us get the buggies order fulfilled, as well as concentrate on the hotel and other campus requirements right now we have. We are also in talk with Adani Ports as well in this space.
Any commitments received for this, Rajesh?
So we have just started. We have few people who are interested. So probably about 3-4 crores will come in. But some of these guys want some lead investors who understand this market as well. This has been our challenge as well. Like Mumbai Angels wants to take about 50% of the entire commitment, but they want someone lead. They invest into manufacturing, but they have not done any EV or core manufacturing. So they want to get into the sustainable space, but they want to have someone to be the lead investor.
And the patent part, I didn't understand. What patents do you have, and are they valuable?
So we have 6 patents right now for the driving, for the module and the battery thermal control units. We have about 60 to 70 more identified. And with the buggy right now, we'll have another 40 or 50 more. But we will start applying these patents only after the fundraise.
Right. Thanks, Rajesh.
As you know, the process of fundraise.
Yeah, we're open for questions, Rajesh. Yeah.
So this is a market where we already have got some interest, and people have come and seen the vehicle and tested the vehicle as well, platform. We won't be going to this market by ourselves, but it will be through someone in the market where we just sell it to them and they will assemble and sell it in that market.
Can you open for questions, Rajesh? Because we already short time.
Yeah. We can go for the questions right now.
Yeah, we can go start for questions, please. Thanks. You can stop sharing the screen also, Rajesh.
Yeah.
So good effort, Rajesh, till now. I can see the team's aspiration and hunger to add value to a crowded or a tough space, OEM funding is almost nil. Although I believe there was this announcement of this two-wheeler, Ather raised at 1.2 billion. That's the latest OEM to become a unicorn. So, but it's a tough space. Yeah, I can understand. Yeah, open for questions.
OEMs, I think we do understand. Even when I got into it, we do understand because I think some of the things has happened is the two-wheelers have taken a lot more time to prove the market. Whereas if you take the three-wheeler who worked on the entire platform on, if you take the Bajaj, they have actually conquered the market much faster. So that's where we are looking. So we are like the Piaggios. We said, yeah, body has to be done, but at least the technology-wise, we are already there. So from the scooter thing, that's what they see because over-engineering is being done. And the prices are very, very high compared to what the global markets, the similar kind of things are available. And that's where I hear from investors when they come from the market because already 7 years are up and just now they have started this team. So, and most of them are strategic investors from the second, third round.
We'll go open for questions. Yeah.
Yeah.
Devesh, Mudit, Vinay, anyone?
Yeah.
Saroj?
Quickly.
Yes, sir.
The conventional and the oft-asked question to you, but you will have to answer it one more time. How dependent are you on China, and what is the situation on the battery with all the incidents on battery explosions?
Yeah, luckily, when we started, we built our own thermal control units. The reason I would say the battery happens is mostly most of the manufacturers in India are not getting the battery directly. So it's got from via agencies, mostly comes from China. And if anyone tells you today someone is getting a cell out of China, it's not possible. The only person who manufactures a cell, including for LG, Panasonic, anyone maybe, it is only comes from China. There are good quality cells. It's also on the battery pack. If you make sure that it is in-house and you build it or you have someone who builds it for you, but according to your requirements, then it's great. Because there's a motor that is being used and the power, the ratio and the batteries has to be done accordingly. Someone has seen that they want to reduce the cost on the battery and not on the motor because motor, the cost is much lesser than the battery. So that's where some of these incidents happens and few who buy low quality batteries as well. So there are issues, but we already have multiple sensors on the batteries. So you have also technology, you have certain kind of materials that can be used to make sure the combustion doesn't come out. It only stays inside for a duration of time and the battery circuit is turned off. Incidents might happen, but you can reduce it to about, say, 2% or 3%. We have worked on that. And now I think if you see in the next 1-2 years, you will see a lot more technology coming up in that similar space. We have used embedded hardware architecture. So what happens, the sensors automatically know if the motor is getting excess hot, it cuts off the motor. That's why we have a central control unit of ours, our own development. So it talks to the motor, it talks to the batteries, and actually also the vehicle, all put together, the behavior of the driver, and sends alerts. This is what is missed in many of the others because the battery control unit comes from the battery controller, the motor controller units come from the motor controller, the vehicle control unit comes from the vehicle controller, and they're all silos. And then you have a telematics that runs out of a different kind of a hardware. So they just come and put it together and then say the battery will only send them alerts. There is no proactive action taken. Like the battery doesn't tell that, hey, I will shut off the battery because the motor is very hot. Because the motor hot comes as an alert and you cannot do anything as a driver. So you just know the motor is hot and then...
I'm sorry to interrupt, but short answers so that we can have at least one more question. Yeah, sorry to interrupt you. Okay. Yeah. Mudit, you had a question. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes. Yeah, so, very interesting. And I loved some of the prototypes and the actual model that you showed. I'm just curious, compared to what is already selling in the market. So there are a lot of electric buggies that I already see being deployed. So what is going to be our positioning? I mean, what would be the reason why somebody would buy this?
Yeah, one is the market is big. Second is, if you say Miney and a couple of others, if you take all the top three, they buy, most of them are assembled from Chinese systems. The wheels, if you take a buggy, it's made for soft road, basically on the grass and other things. That's why they call golf buggies. They're not called buggies as such. What we have built is the commercial grade. So we have a platform which is commercial grade for a Tata Ace. It can take about 1 to 1.5 ton. Similar kind of architecture is what we have put in the buggy. So in India, if you see most of the railway stations, most of the airports, and wherever these guys are used, you will see most of them are actually standing aside and waiting for some kind of a breakdown. And this is what Aquila came and told us, is after 6-7 months, they have a bigger challenge because most of them don't work because the tires are already worn out or the axles are already bent. So that is the reason now commercial buggies will become, and we are giving the same cost as what they are importing for. Because except for our sales, pretty much everything is done in India. So that's why we are able to make it sure it's very optimally priced, and the quality is something we are not deterring from. I think that's one of the advantages. So number 3 has selected us. Seen architecture, they have tested for 6 months. So that speaks something based on their last few years of being in the market. And I think that's the advantage for us. And we are also smart. As we said, our car is smart. So we have taken not the entire smartness, but we have taken a part of it and put the smartness in the buggy. So you can see your usage of the buggy, which is not there today. You can actually go to the extent of even telling the person if you're going to a station and you have booked a buggy, automatically it will be sent to the driver. Now you don't have to go and search in the station. He already knows who's the customer, the phone number is there and things like that. And you can pretty much call the buggy directly also. So route planning can be done.
We can even make stop you again. I know it's a short time for so much information, and it's a very large domain you are catering. I'm apologize for that. But we'll have to pause.
No problem.
Yeah. Rajesh? Okay. Thanks, Rajesh. So
we have basically, that's some of the.
We'll continue the conversation with few of the angels later. I'll get back to you on that. Yeah. Thanks, Rajesh. Sure. Yeah. So over to the last presentation for today, which is Tara from Curatedata. Again, he's mentored by Mudit, and we're eagerly waiting to see your presentation, Tara. Tara is a reluctant pitcher. He believes he can create the business without investment, but let's understand more from Tara. Over to you, Tara. So you would have seen 9 pitches, Tara, and we are hoping the 10th is the best. Tara, you are there?
Yes, just one second. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Tara.
Okay. So, and you are able to see my presentation?
Yes, Tara.
Okay. So good evening, everybody. And I'm Tara Singh Char from Curatedata Analytics. Curatedata Analytics is an analytics company, and we say we are delivering business impact through digital transformation. We are based at Gurgaon. And you look at our entire thing. So we talk about the digital transformation roadmap. So what we do, we start with the data generation piece, which could be your internal data or external data. Then we go up to the prescriptive analytics. And in between, there are the generative AI also, predictive analytics also, then data visualization, data warehousing. So everything comes in between. So when we talk about for any organization starts with the data generation, and they aspire to reach at for using the generative AI to generate the prescriptive analytics, which they should be able to use in making decisions. Now, if you look at our core team, as you already said, Mudit Mathur is the mentor and advisor. He was my boss in J&J for a longer period of time. So Mudit has worked in J&J for a longer period of time, more than 25 years in multiple countries, whether it's India, US market, then South Asia market, and even for Australian market. So he is both from business as well as tech background. So it is not only he is from business, he is from tech background also. So I am Tara Singh Char. I am co-founder. I am ex-head of sales for Nine. So I have worked in Nine for more than 5 years as the head of sales. And before that, I was head of trade marketing. Then before that, I was regional sales manager. And then I was head of analytics. So that was the time this entire interest of analytics got generated. I was head of analytics from 2013 to 2015 in Johnson & Johnson Consumer Division. I'm 2003 passed out from NITI Mumbai, which is now IIM Mumbai. And my CTO is Raja Brijbhushan. He has worked in Indian market as well as in US market. And we have our business development person. Currently, he is from IIM Ranchi, 2023 pass out. And we are the part of Microsoft Startup Founders Hub also. And we are the consulting partner for Salesforce also. If you look at in detail about us, our team has a group of expert people who have worked across multinational companies as well as Indian successful startups. At the same time, these are the people who are behind setting up the business analytics function in multinational companies as well as entire business function across multiple successful startups. And if you look at some of the clients, we have multinational clients like McCann Food, then ExxonMobil, and then Glenbia. And then we have Indian clients like Zydus Wellness, Imami, Cremica, and we have some of the international clients. These are the Uganda-based client, which is the Double Barrel and Wickland. And so we have the Indian companies, MNC companies, and we have mix of companies. So these are our clients. And if you look at the market size of data analytics, so data analytics market size, Indian market size, as per Analytics India magazine, it is around 61 billion US dollar, and it is growing very fast. So CAGR is around 25% plus. And if you look at the whatever business is happening related with the data analytics, 50% business come from US market. And if you look at the problem, what kind of problem is there? Almost every company wants to go for digital transformation to remain competitive in the market. But in data analytics industry, most of the people are from technology background. They do not understand business much. There is always a lot of resistance in adoption of solution by business users because these solutions or analytics solutions are developed by the tech people. So adoption rate is very low. If you look at Curatedata analytics, first we are the business guy. We understand what is the requirement of business, whether it's a marketing, sales, supply chain, and finance. In the backend, we understand technology very well because we are coming from the engineering background. At one point of time, we have studied neural network 20 years back. We are studying even LLM model since last 4 or 5 years. ChatGPT came in last year, but before that also we were working on your neural network model and AI models. So this is the differentiation between the other companies which we are working in this space and our team. And if you look at our solution and product, so first is we don't say we are product-based company. First, we are providing the data analytics solution. In this data analytics solution, if you look at the entire architecture, data comes from multiple sources. It could be any kind of business data, whether it's a primary sales, secondary sales, it's a marketing data, AC Nielsen data, it is Kantar data, brand track data, or it could be even census data. So this entire data comes from different sources. We build a data warehouse. We have our own connector. So you can call it product also because we have a standard connector. Then we do the data cleaning, data mining, and then we build the dashboard either using Power BI or Tableau. And we generate these kind of dashboards, whether it could be reporting dashboard, this could be cluster analysis, this could be predictive analysis or conversational BI. And recently we have launched our product also. It's a Curate AI. And we are using in the backend either OpenAI model and this Azure OpenAI model. And we have built this our product where we are able to generate recommendations, see performance recommendations for people, whether it's a people performance, brand performance, or if people wants to analyze the performance of people and give the recommendation, okay, if this performance, this particular brand is not doing good, what that person should do and why it is not doing good. This system can generate those recommendations by own, looking at your internal data and looking at the external data also. And at the same time, it can give you this in the form of presentation also, in the form of PDF also, and in the form of Word file also. So now one set of the people will look at the dashboards and one set of people will look at this kind of information. And the good part is this Adani Wilmar has agreed to do the initial pilot for our Curate AI. And if you look at our GTM strategy, current GTM strategy is we target market, which is especially CPG companies, because we come from the CPG companies, we understand the pain point of the CPG companies. And we are positioning as a partner in their digital transformation journey for data generation to prescriptive analytics. And our sales approach is the direct sales. So we directly connect with the top management in the organization. We give the demo and acquire the customer. And our services are both. One is the project-based services. So they have projects for 1 year, 2 year, 3 years project. Or we have work on the SaaS model also. And our customer acquisition is model is direct outreach, where we directly connect with the client because we have the sales team. And sometimes we get the customer referral also because now it is easier because we have worked with multiple companies and we are continuously working with these companies. So we get the referrals also. So one person refers to other. Our people are moving from one organization to other organization. That is also helping us. If you look at the future GTM, in future GTM, we are looking for the expansion of the target market other than the CPG companies also. And we will go for the event participations also because that is the best way to showcase your capability. Then we will go for digital marketing also. And we will look for the partnership and alliances also. And since we are building our AI product, so we will go for the SaaS model also. And then we will add up people in our sales team. We will add tools so that they can reach more number of companies. They can explain our offering and services. Now, if you look at the revenue model, most of the revenue comes from B2B companies and especially CPG companies. And this revenue comes through projects. So projects are usually 1 year, 1.5 years. Then only 5% business comes from the subscription and then 5% is from AMC. So whichever customers we have started, so we have worked with almost 15, 16 customers, except 1 or 2 customers. All the customers are with us. Either they are giving us the continuous work or we have the AMC with these customers. From future perspective, we will focus more on product side also, where we will get the more revenue in terms of subscription. So this subscription contribution will go from 5% to 20%. AMC will also go up because as we are adding customers, our customers for AMCs are going up. And if you look at the benchmarking and positioning, so if you look at the data analytics companies, then data analytics companies, IT service provider like Tech Mahindra, STL, Wipro. Then you have the IT enabled service provider. It is Genpact, it's a WNS, Excel. And then you have consulting firm like McKinsey, KPMG, EY, PwC, BCG. And you have the boutique analytics firm. So you know Mu Sigma, Fractal, Latent View, Tiger Analytics. All so we are trying to position ourselves as a boutique analytics firm. So this is the
differentiation. What is the differentiation versus the boutique and other boutique analytics firm?
So if you look at the differentiation in these most of the boutique analytics firm, these are driven by tech first, and we are driven by the business first. That is the major difference because at many of the places we have replaced these companies. So recently we have got the contract of say Emami. They before us 3 analytics companies have worked, but now they want to experiment with us because what they are saying, you understand the business. You will be able to tell us what is required from the business perspective because we are working in the domain of sales, marketing, finance and supply chain. So that is our domain, main domain. So that is the differentiation which people don't have even now because most of the people are from the strong tech background, not from business background. So that is the main differentiation, and because of that, we are going to replace even PwC also in Adani. We have replaced Accenture in Zydus Wellness, and we have replaced 3 analytics companies in Emami. So that is the way, that is our differentiation, especially like business understanding and what business people want, so that we can give those kind of solutions for better decision making.
Good. Yeah, we can continue.
And if you look at the traction part, so though company was started in 2021 and it was founded by myself and my wife to do something different from the job. And since last 1 year, I am completely into it. So my last role was head of sales in Nine. And Nine was the startup company which was started, say 6 years back from zero. And I took it to the business of 350 crore. And then I thought, okay, let me build my own business. And I had the interest also. So since last year, I am full-time in this, and financial year 24 revenue was 36 lakhs. If you look at the Q1 revenue is 24 lakhs. Now Q2, I am targeting around 40 lakhs. Then I will go and take this entire revenue in 1 year to 4 crore per month, which is the M12. And if you look at the year 1, I'm targeting around 55 crore. And year 2, I'm targeting the business of 100 crore. And this I'm telling you, okay, this is doable. Why I doable? Because I have seen this startup journey since last in last 5 years. I have seen how things move, and at what is the strategic inflection point. After that, your business moves very fast, and where it is going to stagnate. So getting the business of 100 crore is not a big task, especially in this space, where everybody is trying to move and implement analytics in their companies, whether it's an Indian organization or it's a multinational organization. If you look at the ask, it is the bootstrap company because I have invested my own money up to 1 crore, and I have got some support from the Microsoft in terms of credit. So $125,000 credit is there, and I'm seeking the investment of 15 crore at the valuation of 300 crore, and this 15 crore will be used especially for manpower, marketing, IT, and office infrastructure and product development. So this is my ask in this. And
good, Tara. Thanks. Yeah, we are open for questions. Again, there are a good number of data or IT folks here. Rajesh, Vinay, we open for questions. Saeed, Devesh, yeah. I know it's slightly marathon session, but
I'll go first. Tara,
go ahead.
It's a fundamental question.
Yes.
What is your product? Your solution looks like a bunch of APIs coming together, and behind it there are already ready-made modules from AWS, and I saw a bunch of BI, whatever. What is your product? Are you a product company or a solution company?
As of now, it's a solution company. So services I have clearly written.
So your product is not yet built. Would that be a fair statement?
Yes, right now we will do the pilot of our AI product, but we will do the pilot. We have not sold it to anybody till now.
So right now you're a services company. Would that
Yes.
it's a fair statement, right?
Yes.
Okay, that was my only question. I don't have any other questions. Thank you.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Any other questions, anyone?
I mean, Girish,
No,
I can
Girish.
say a lot. I've been in this space too long.
Yeah.
And I can see exactly where Tara is right now. Tara, all the very best. It's a slippery slope. It's a very slippery slope because if you're in the field of data analytics, you need to climb very fast. I've been in this field for 20 years. And some of the companies that you put up on your slide, we have seen them fall off. So when you say Brillo was actually Marketalytics. You know that, right?
Yes.
And Roy Cherian is 1 year my senior from my college. He sold a lemon to Brillo. And I know the top management of Brillo also. They are now crying because they got something that they can't do anything with. The entire team has gone. So you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes.
So there are very few companies which have actually sustained and been able to grow. So I don't mind saying this, but you need to be on the AI bandwagon as quickly as possible if you need to be in this space.
Yes.
If you're going to be in the services space, then that's fine. I mean, you can keep doing. So we worked with Adani and we got out very quickly because that is bottom scraping. They really get work out of you and give you pennies. So we didn't go too far with them. We did some and then we said, thank you very much. We don't want to do this kind of work. So be cautious of some of those which look very enticing to begin with, but then they get you dragged into a deeper hole. You know? So this is just some pieces of advice from me. All the very best.
Thank you.
And you'll be lucky to get anything out of Adani. I work with the Adani corporate directly with Gautam.
Yeah, same for me.
Questions.
Tarana
nahi hai zyada. Questions, yeah.
Just
questions. I got the product and service guy point, but any other questions? Yeah.
I think my take on this, it is not so Adani. I'm telling you, the one of the companies. See what happens if I go to Adani, I might not get anything out of Adani, but I might get 10 other clients. Okay. So this I have seen in past also, and I have seen this in my startup journey also in 9, because 9 is a sanitary napkin brand and nobody could stand in front of J&J and P&G, but 9 was able to get the 10% market share. So it is not only direct correlation. I know, okay, some places I might not get, but because of that, I will get something else at the other places, and that to be better things. Yeah.
Yeah. Questions, Saeed, Rajesh, any questions? Last questions before we close?
Yeah, I just very quickly ask. Thanks for asking the opening question, Devesh, because I was also not sure whether this is a hardcore startup with a product or not. So pretty well, Tara, that traditional VCs don't really want to invest in a consultative company because they cannot 10x or 50x or 100x their money at all from there. So focus on the product, then come back to us. That would be my advice. AI is what Data is using, but what's the timeline for the product? I didn't see that.
No, he's not even thought of that. The product part is still pending. He's service business and scaling on that front only. Correct, Tara?
Yeah.
My reading is correct? Yeah.
Yes.
The product is something he has to imagine first and then build it. Yeah.
Oh,
No,
okay.
I have built that, so I will start piloting. I have not sold the product. That's why I'm not talking about that product. But when I'm talking about the AI product, so it is my AI product. So that is product. Okay. Rest are the services. That's why I have segregated. These are the services, and this is my product. And this product, I will come to you when I will sell it to first customer, and then I will tell you, okay, now I have the.
Okay. All right. All the best.
Thanks, Tara. And thanks, Mudit. Thanks, Saeed. Thanks, Vinay. Thanks, Devesh. Thanks, Rajesh Gupta, Rajesh Padigari. Yeah. Thanks, everyone. And marathon session, I'll be sharing the recording also on YouTube. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a nice day, night. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you.